rollouts there. This was one of the few times where they used the power of the presidency in an official capacity.
All right, guys, what's up? Welcome to the stream. We are live with election night. Right now, we have a lead of Biden 16-13. Woo-woo! Let's go! What's up, everybody? Here's the live election screen right here. Biden is taking the lead. Woo-woo-woo-woo! Right now. I'm going to put some text on the screen of the score. I'll just keep it on the phone since it's showing up on here. That way I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to bring the chat up. Give me one sec. I got to bring that up.
But to Chuck's point about Miami-Dade, I've been talking to Democrats about that area for the past week or so. They have been concerned about the turnout in Miami-Dade, and that's why you saw former President over the weekend.
Come on, Joe Biden 2020. I'm a Democratic. What you gonna do about it?
Last week, and I can tell you that the electorate.
All right, so I got that one on there.
Quite divided. For every Biden voter who I interviewed a Trump voter. So you really feel on the ground there that this is the battleground.
This may be the chat.
What we also saw in Florida, Lester, was really a tale of two campaigns. You had President.
All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm gonna check the chat.
Holding these competing rallies in Tampa, which is a swing district, and you had President Trump with this massive crowd.
That must be.
Very few masks. On the other hand, Joe Biden in the same area with a drive-in, socially distant.
Okay, that's alert box. All right, so I can go up to the top in the middle of the screen.
COVID-19, Biden thinking that could be the crux and the key to this campaign, Lester.
All right, Kristen, thanks very much.
Let's turn to Casey Hunt. She's got some reporting on Duval County, which is, I guess, the northeastern part of the state. What are you hearing?
Yeah, Chuck was just talking about this in the area around Jacksonville, and I was actually just exchanging notes with a couple sources about what's going on there, because some Democrats had noticed that the early results.
All right, get this other guys. Did you vote? I didn't vote because I didn't have my voter's card.
But I'm also told by others who've been tracking this data.
I am voting for Donald. I voted for that Joe Biden, baby.
So we just want to be, I think,
there's the chat.
A little bit of caution in terms of looking at the returns there. The other thing I would highlight, though, Savannah, is Broward County. For all of the trouble that Chuck correctly highlighted that President Trump is.
There's the chat. Everybody thinks on here. I just don't want to put the subscriber thing on top. Right now, guys, we are in the lead so far. Joe Biden has taken Vermont. He's right now leading New Hampshire. He took Virginia. He's leading 16-13, you guys. So far, he has took Florida almost within the lead. He's leading Georgia, Florida, and Ohio. Donald Trump has taken West Virginia, Kentucky. Right now, he's got 3 more states that he's in the lead right now with.
We could see.
So, guys, like I'm going to say this right here. If Biden wins Georgia, he will take a 29-point lead after the 16th. So you're looking at least 30-something points ahead.
And the fact that the Biden campaign was very.
It's not updated on the news, but it is updated on Google.
Trump campaign has been.
We're watching it on Google and on the news.
Biden campaign only.
I am voting for Biden 2020. I'm going to put it on the top so everybody can see it.
It may not be enough to overcome that advantage. And also the policies that Chuck was referring to, policies on Cuba and Venezuela, coming out of the State Department, they have been just pouring the stuff out to attract those Latin American people who are tied to their home countries.
And the socialism label, you're saying, kind of stuck to Joe Biden harder there with that particular community of voters?
Right, it's right there. You guys can see it. Biden 2020.
Is this a good point?
All right, guys, so I'm going to refresh it and see what goes on.
Looking at is coming from, because we were warned going to this that numbers may not appear, the image may be different than what.
All right, still the same right now.
In Florida, we're seeing everything is going to get thrown in, and
right now we have Florida. Joe Biden is leading. They're getting ready to close their deal, and it's fixing to get Joe Biden's fixing to take that lead again. So far as we know.
And lately, Andrew Gillum.
By the way, the Senate's 35-30. Democrats have taken the Senate seats.
Struck by the
so Democrats are taking it.
Almost identical, if you will,
and Donald Trump has took the lead in North Carolina and Georgia.
I mean, look at now. We're sitting.
He took back the 2 leads. We don't need him back in there, guys. I'm sorry.
And
I'm
Biden's
voting
got
for,
about 250,000.
Joe Biden.
One of the things I've noticed that could help out Joe Biden if he's struggling in Miami-Dade is that just very carefully you can see.
So far, right now, Joe Biden's leading New Hampshire, Florida, Ohio. He's got Virginia.
The West Coast here, because this is some Republicans, a lot of college-educated Republicans down here, snowbirds.
Totally states are too early to call.
Watch the Biden percentage.
So some of you guys wondering.
Here. He's just slightly improving on her by 2 points almost across the board. That's a 3.5-point game there in Charlotte County. This is here, Lee County. This is Fort Myers. As you can see, he's improved by 3.5 points. This is how Joe Biden.
I'm gonna restart the news.
That
may fix the score.
But we're gonna take a little moment here. A look ahead to the night's biggest wave of poll.
For
the
breaking
fuck just
news
happened?
in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
I do not know what just happened, guys. I'm gonna turn this down, by the way.
If you're 50 or over,
I turned it just a little bit, guys. I don't know what happened to the deal, guys.
RP has to offer right now. Join AARP for $12 for 1 year, and your second membership is free. Get
So far, guys,
discounts on everything.
Donald Trump is losing by 3 points. Donald Trump is losing by 3 points.
Sites to protect your Social Security, Medicare, and more. Join and get an insulated truck.
We don't want Donald Trump in the damn White House because he is a piece of fucking shit.
Police murder.
Sorry, guys, I'm not voting for Trump. I'm voting for Biden.
American way of death across centuries.
I want Biden to win. Biden to win. I want Joe Biden to win.
If now is the time. If now is the time.
This is all the press, guys.
Finally win.
All this may not be final, though, to begin with.
With Lawrence O'Donnell. Weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
So you guys know it, I'm voting for Biden.
Go to work. I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday.
Come on.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
A real close-knit group of nurses who pulled together when their boss needed help battling coronavirus. You're not just
Come on, Joe Biden. Win Georgia. Win Georgia. You'll take a 29 motherfucking point.
Introducing the MSNBC Daily, featuring written perspectives by experts you know.
Right now, it's not all.
Understanding of the stories.
Right now, it's not all really won yet.
Check out the MSNBC Daily today at msnbc.com.
You're watching NBC News Now.
I'm voting for Biden, boys. Y'all got a problem with that? Y'all can kiss my ass.
It's news made for your streaming world.
I think Virginia was 13 points. That's why Joe Biden got the lead. Because he had 3 plus 13, that's like 16. So that's all there.
Not what they say.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the center of this campaign.
We want Joe Biden to win. Because we want America great again. Joe Biden will get in. Once Donald Trump sees the results, he's going to kiss his own ass goodbye.
Should people be concerned? NBC Nightly News.
I don't care what y'all say on TikTok. Donald Trump is going to lose this election.
Florida, complicated and has a scratching her head. What a thought. Let's bring in Hallie Jackson at the White House for more on that. Hallie?
That's one thing you might have been able to bet on before this night, Lester, if you will. I can tell you that based on some conversations with sources and our team's conversations inside the Trump orbit, there are advisors who are
Kentucky, Donald Trump already took Kentucky, guys, so it's already been, he's already won it.
with the rest of the team just before the break. There's numbers specifically.
The light colors are the lead.
Those inside the president's
They're not
who are
really won it yet.
being done with specifically Latino voters. This is an area that the president has been talking about publicly for weeks now. It's a place in his campaign. In almost every discussion.
Donald Trump's going to get North Carolina. He's going to take a lead.
How they are trying to boost turnout
Fuck.
specifically among Latino and Latino.
Biden's gonna take the lead in Ohio.
This ad that has come out now in the past.
We got a couple more states, and then I get ready to close in Florida.
Inside the Latino community, and then there's what Andrew was referencing too, the idea that
Biden's gonna win Florida, then Biden's going to take the lead.
has been effective. This
9 points from Trump. He's going to be 19, and Biden's going to be on behind 3. Really? In South Carolina? Bro, you crazy. Biden 2020 as well. Nice. What's up, Biology Outdoors? Biology Outdoors. Who are you voting for?
Consistently at the president's rallies.
Woo woo! Biden strong. Biden 2020. Biden 2020. Biden 2020.
Atlantic coast here, Volusia, Daytona, and look, Volusia used to be Volusia. If you remembered Florida back in 2000.
Biden 2020.
One time,
Cause Biden's going to win this. And I know that Trump's going to say goodbye, bye, bye. If I could vote, I'd definitely go for Biden. Hey, man, thanks. I got 2 years to vote. Whoop, whoop. But that Donald Trump, fuck him. Right now, we're watching the news and watching it on the phone to see what state they want each.
In this county and in Brevard. Where's that 3%?
Donald Trump's going to take a 3-point lead in South Carolina, but Joe Biden's going to take Ohio and he's going to take the lead back.
If we're seeing a similar pattern here,
and Florida.
Suddenly, basically,
and if Joe Biden can get the Georgia back, he can win it.
As you see here, sorry, another 3. I saw you squint.
No, I'm squinting at the
Next poll closes at 7 o'clock. Well, it's 8 o'clock really, but 7 o'clock I'm here.
So his number got better too.
His number got better, but again,
we got a couple more states that Donald Trump can lose.
Chuck, thanks. We're going to take a break. Be back with more election night coverage in just a moment.
They're saying on it's 11-3 right now, but right now it's 16-13. I'm ahead of them, motherfuckers.
You ready to go to work? I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala?
Right now, New Hampshire is Biden right now. Ohio is Biden. Florida is Biden. Georgia was Biden, but Donald Trump, that dumb fuck, he got the damn lead on that damn state.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever.
Man, I bet you 100% will change. To Biden and then go, boom! Biden takes a full lead! Whoopie-doo! Trump is just stupid. Handling things horribly as like a dictator, as he fires everyone who says he is wrong. Yeah, it's true. That is goddamn true.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job to ask the tough questions, left and right, and help you make sense of it all.
I'm just wanting Biden to win today. Biden's got the lead.
I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey.
Biden 2020, Biden 2020.
New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your
They ain't showing he's proof selfish, dumb fuck. Ha! I understand that.
Joe Biden hit the center of this campaign, coronavirus.
Because he, basically, guys, if you guys know Donald Trump, he has fucked up our country bad. He has not done nothing for the coronavirus. He has done nothing for just about anything. He's firing everybody he thinks that they can fire.
Which is stupid. Vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
Complete stupid.
With Lester Holt.
But so far, guys, you can see here on this point view, Biden has Orlando, Tampa, West Palm Beach, Miami, Jacksonville, and Tallahassee. You guys can go back here and go up here. You can see where Biden won this state, but it's still right now still Donald Trump still takes the 58%, but it's still early to call. But if you look at Ohio at this moment and West Virginia is still too early to call. Biden does take the lead on that so far because 50.8%. He's got this state, and it's too early to call for it. But you have Ohio. Joe Biden has took a 30-something% lead. And you're looking at a total of a good amount of percentage of cities that he could get. It's where he can take the 18 electoral votes and be in the lead. Then you have Illinois or Indianapolis that Donald Trump is in the lead, but it's still too early to call. And so just right now, no! He took South Carolina! He took the fucking lead. No! But I bet you. I bet you it's too early to call. Yep, too early to call. So he really didn't take that state yet. Oklahoma closes at 7 p.m. over here. Once the poll closes, guys, they don't hear it, and Biden will take the lead.
Good morning, welcome to.
But Florida, there's a 100% chance that he's going to take Florida because he's got 61%. And it's showing there that Donald Trump's going to be a lower lead, and Biden's going to take a full.
Police murder of
Did he take
unarmed black
Florida?
men has been an American
No,
way of
you're
death
kidding me.
across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive
No!
ever introduced in Congress,
By 1%.
wonder if now is the time. If now is the time the protest.
But it's too early to call, though. But Biden will switch around and he'll come back. He'll come back for the win. I know he will.
On MSNBC.
But there was 9 electoral votes in that one, so that which means he's only got 22. But it could change at any moment. This is not a real score, but it'll definitely change at any moment. That's why it's saying 3-11 on the news right now. Some of the states that has not been done yet for the cities, certain cities yet. And you're seeing a percentage of Biden winning Florida because it's 61%. And yeah, Ohio, you're definitely going to see Joe Biden win it because he's in the lead. And New Hampshire, he's going to win it. He's going to take the lead. If you guys can look at New Hampshire, the electoral votes on this is 4. And he'll take the lead, but he will have 1 point behind. But if you're looking at Ohio, this is 18 votes. He can take the lead straight up. And once he does take that lead, Biden got Georgia back. So which means he's still in the lead for Georgia. That's 16 electoral votes. Not knowing that, he'll still be able to win it. So, I'll be right back, guys. I go to the bathroom. Alright, guys, we got a new lead. Joe Biden, now, guys. He has taken several states at this moment. He took Illinois. He took Vermont. He took New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, and MD. What the fuck they pronounce? So far, Biden has taken the lead. He took Maryland.
Projecting Biden the winner in Massachusetts.
Woo! All right.
Also in Delaware, Biden wins. Biden also the projected winner in D.C.
All right, and Oklahoma will go for the president. In Illinois, we are calling it too early, but Biden is leading in Illinois. He's led in the polls. In Connecticut, same thing. Too early, but Biden is leading.
Here's what's happening in Alabama right now. Too early to call. Too early to make.
Guess who has the lead right now?
In Mississippi.
Guess who has the damn lead?
Leading in Rhode Island. That one's
Biden, 85 to 55.
Tennessee.
All right, so
Biden, Joe Biden, 85 votes out of 55.
Elected president.
He won Illinois, he won Virginia, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maryland, New Jersey, Delaware, MD, what do you pronounce it? He took back Georgia. Texas is still, he's leading Texas and Georgia.
Nobody's won a road game.
And Donald Trump took Florida.
In the 7-game series, a series doesn't begin until somebody wins a road game, or a series doesn't be, an election night doesn't begin.
He's right now, it's in the lead, 85 to 55. I had Trump. He's 44 to 26 on the damn TV.
They are. Let me go over to Florida.
Biden.
If we've got some of these.
Biden's ahead on both sides, TV and my phone.
Just to see if we're going to start getting some of this.
He's about to have Florida right now. They're getting ready to close in just about a couple minutes.
Let's just remind people of Florida's tendencies here.
And he's fixing to have it. Oklahoma, Donald Trump took Oklahoma.
Obama at 51.
He took Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, South Carolina, and Mississippi.
Landslide for Obama in 2008. But as you can see here, these margins are always.
It's getting ready where Biden's going to win it tonight.
And so we got this is good news for Biden.
You goddamn right he's going to. He got Vermont. He got Illinois. He got Virginia. He got several states, more than Donald Trump did.
Counties in here that will produce some good vote for Trump, for Biden.
Yep, he got 85 right now to 55.
A load of vote out of there. So look,
no, 85 to 55. Yeah.
Is Miami right now.
And right now on the TV showing he's ahead 44 to 26.
86% in. We're looking at 53.9 to 45.5.
He's about to have it, dude. It's gonna be our new it's gonna be our new president.
He's performing 10 points less. The question is whether all of
that's so far as we know.
Improvements for Joe Biden.
He took Donald Trump took back Georgia.
Points there in these various counties. Cannot make up for 10 points in Miami.
And then points on that, and it's 16 electoral votes.
We'll see in the other Sun Belt.
No, I don't, because this is a unique.
He'll get it back.
Miami issue. Miami is Miami.
He's still leading New Hampshire, and Ohio, and Texas.
Hong Kong, right? The rest of Florida is sort of.
Biden went down to 40% against Trump on Florida.
I would say this. If this is the way Biden loses Florida.
Each way, it's too close to call. It's 95% reporting.
Because many of these other counties perform more.
Biden got Delaware, so they're showing TV.
I always joke, Florida, basically the Midwest is down here.
Because Florida, it's 29 electoral votes.
Shows up in Florida, so if you're looking for a silver lining on the Biden side,
Joe Biden won District of Columbia.
Makes you think you should do well in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin.
Right now, it's in the lead. You can watch my stream. You see, he's 85 to 55 on my phone. I will. Alright, bye. Alright, guys. So far, Joe Biden has the lead. I can't believe this. Woo! He's gonna win it. He's gonna win it. He's gonna win it.
Related message. It's something that President Trump
can't wait.
Really been
we're gonna have a new president. New president.
Uses this term. I mean, this is something that really focused.
And he took back Florida on the TV.
Was the goal here to try and do what we're seeing play out apparently, which was win over more of those voters, but so
far, guys, it's going to be a win for fucking Biden.
Of trying to convince these voters not to show up
Woo woo!
at all, to become demoralized about this, because this message was potentially attached to the Democrat Joe Biden. Of course, Biden's team focused much more, frankly, on the
statewide. Donald Trump has a 2% lead on Florida, guys.
Yet tonight, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, where our conversation will inevitably turn later, but it's possible that they're paying the price.
Guys, I'm gonna get a picture of this real quick.
All right, we'll bring into the conversation now former Democratic Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill and conservative columnist and editor of National Review, Rich Lowry, both are NBC News political contributors. Claire, let me start with you in this idea. I think Andrea brought up this notion that Biden had been painted with a socialist brush very early on, and it was hard to get rid of. Do you buy into that?
I think it may resonate more in some of the communities in Miami-Dade and in Florida, namely those Cuban Americans. But if you look at the gauntlet that Trump has to run, he may get by.
Send it to my mama.
But he's got big ones ahead of him.
She gonna get it.
He's got to get through.
What? He gonna get it. What?
Which is Pennsylvania.
They took back Georgia, guys.
It's going to be a long night. It looks like Florida is not going to be decisive one way or the other for a while. But, you know, everybody was hoping it would be over early by winning Florida big. You can take a deep breath, grab a bottle of water, and hang in there. It's going to be a while.
All right, let me turn to Rich Lowry. Rich, like me, I know you hang on every word that Chuck Todd says.
Georgia.
Were you watching when he started looking at some of those red counties in Florida where Biden seems to be overperforming Hillary Clinton? We know that...
We're getting ready, guys. It's getting ready to be a win-win-win for Joe Biden.
Do you see any warning signals in those red counties in Florida that may...
No, he took the lead in Kansas and damn Georgia again. Fuck!
We'll see. I mean, it seems clear one of the storylines of the night will be this shifting.
I'm not looking at my comments, guys. Let me look and see what you guys said.
We're shedding support in more traditional Republican affluent suburbs and then picking up support in working class areas, some of which were more traditionally Democrat. So,
Biden is leading Michigan! Biden's leading Michigan! Biden's leading Michigan!
This is necessary for Trump. It's not for Biden.
You gotta think a lot of Trump supporters are getting off work and going out and voting right now. Motherfucker, bro, you get the fuck out of here, bro, if you like Trump, dude. I don't like Trump. Biden 2020, bitches. Got a problem with me? Kiss my fat ass. I don't give a fuck.
They could actually win over Latinos, especially Latino men, and make a difference in a really close election.
Biden's my president, and he wins. That's y'all's new president, motherfuckers.
The turnout operation that the Trump campaign did as well, and turned out new voters of its own. We're watching as these results.
Come on, take Florida back, Biden. Come on, take Georgia and Florida back.
St. Petersburg, Florida, Pinellas County,
Pennsylvania, Biden. Biden's leading Pennsylvania. Biden's leading Pennsylvania.
Because in the last 40 years, really, since 1980, this county...
Biden's leading Pennsylvania.
A lot of eyes really on
Hello?
County, and the technology is pretty sufficient.
Nothing. So far, Biden's leading 85 to 55 against Trump. He took, right now he's leading Texas, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. He just took Virginia, Illinois, Vermont, Maryland, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, and wherever this city is, I can't really see it.
Republican turnout here, especially in a county where it's basically even between Republicans and Democrats. Now look at that yellow line. This is
Maryland, yeah, he took Maryland and Virginia and some other states. So far, Trump's behind. But Trump is leading Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, and Kansas, and he took Oklahoma, Kansas, Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and South Carolina.
Campaigns have done is they were trying to win those voters 65
You alright?
and plus in age. Those
What's wrong?
non-party affiliated voters. Those are the ones in 2016.
I don't know. What's going on? Give me a second, guys.
And went towards Trump.
in Miami-Dade.
Alright, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that with my mom. I always want to tell her about the election. But, should I even make a Charizard? Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to deal with Biden.
28 and 60, 88,000 votes. All right, think about it.
But Trump right now is 4437. But what about down here?
More than 220. He's got to find some 300,000 extra votes in all these margins.
It's still the same.
Extra votes,
Anyway.
Florida looks like an uphill climb for Joe Biden.
Let's not forget Barack Obama spent a lot of time in Florida here in the last couple of weeks.
Yes, he did. I think a lot of questions are going to be asked, though, to go back to did they...
Sorry about that, guys. I'm looking through my shit.
Look, the Biden campaign will get criticized if they're not carrying Georgia or North Carolina. The criticism about their Florida
Let me fix this real quick, guys.
Will either amp up or down depending on how well they do in neighboring Georgia and up the coast in North Carolina.
All right, and we just projected Tennessee going to the president. No surprise there. Donald Trump, the winner of the 11 electoral votes there.
Kristen Welker, let's bring you into this Florida conversation. If we go back to the beginning of the evening and Chuck and his path to victory, it didn't seem to loom as large or as important to Joe Biden.
Either way, guys, we're going to get a new president. That's all you guys can say.
Around Florida.
You guys are really going to get a new president. Whether you like it or not.
And I think that's
Hey, I didn't even see y'all in the chat. What's going on here? What's up, Turner Mystic?
To the Biden campaign, who acknowledges that this is really an uphill
I didn't see your comment till now.
at this point, watching these numbers come in. But I've also heard from Biden campaign officials who say they still feel good.
It's going to make history, goddamn right.
They have several paths that do not include Florida, that do rely on Midwestern states. That blue wall that Hillary Clinton was not able to hold back in 2016.
So far, guys, Biden's leading. We have an 85-55 score.
Michigan, Wisconsin.
I have no live stream like this, but hey, I'm watching like this. What's up, China Mystic?
They feel good about the turnout.
Pennsylvania, Biden has it! He got 20 votes, bitch!
Where their focus has shifted at this
He's going to have a 95-point lead. 95-55, motherfucker.
So he did make a real push for the
I'm going live in 15 minutes, alright?
to win Florida. But again, they have multiple other paths that do not include it. That, in addition to those Midwestern states that I just mentioned, would include North Carolina and Georgia. And so that is where their focus.
So far, guys, Texas and Kansas is what Biden's leading on.
We're back after a short break with more election results. Stay with us.
They're updating on the press on the Google, guys. I don't care about politics. I'm a Democrat, so yeah, I'm not a Republican. Fuck Republicans. Republicans go shit, dick, bucket in the dirt. You guys are subscribing me for over the votes is just kind of fucked up. If y'all don't like Trump, then get the fuck out of here. If you come to my stream, I'll make you a mod. Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we'll be right there with you, whether you're back to school or back to work. We're keeping you safe.
I gotta get on here real quick.
Every morning on Today.
Police murder of unarmed black men has been an American way of death across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever in Congress, I've begun to wonder if now is the time. If now is the time that protesters finally win. The last word with Lawrence O'Donnell.
I don't see you nowhere, dude. Oh, I think you got 41 subscribers.
She's Joe Biden's choice.
Aren't you the one that has 41 subscribers?
Join me,
Trainer Mystic.
explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast. Kamala.
Trainer Mystic, are you the one that has 41 subscribers? Let me know so I know.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
A real close-knit group of nurses who pulled together when their boss
Okay,
needed
then I'll go on your live stream. I'll go to the, update my shit on my phone by pulling it down. And then, yeah. Let's go live and then go on your stream, dude.
Introducing the MSNBC Daily, featuring written perspectives by experts you know and trust for a better understanding of the stories that matter most. Check out the MSNBC Daily today at msnbc.com.
You're watching NBC News Now. We've got some breaking news.
Let me put my computer up, guys. Keep eyes on the score, guys.
It's news made for your streaming world.
Watch what they do, not what they say.
Excuse me.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the center of this campaign.
Biden's gonna get it.
We enter the final stretch of the 2020 race from every angle. If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now? On the ground.
The wind standing these flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
And in depth.
Trump winning Montana, guys. Now, on Montana, guys, those electoral votes will give Donald Trump just 10, and he'll be at 65. That's all it'll give him.
Tonight here in the U.S. and standing by live for us is Florida Senator, former Governor, Republican Rick Scott.
But I know it's too early to call in Oklahoma because, look here, Tulsa and a couple states have Joe Biden, but
at this moment, do you
Donald Trump already has it.
say this is going to go Trump's way tonight in Florida?
Absolutely. Look, the big key is Miami-Dade. I've always said.
So far, guys, Trump has Florida.
And he did in Miami-Dade. It's very important. It was very important that my wins. I won the Hispanic vote in all three of my races.
Damn it, he has Illinois. Fuck.
You can't do as badly as Biden did in Miami and expect to.
They'll update it on the TV, guys, slowly. Slowly but surely.
Big for President Trump, and so I think he's going to have a bigger win tonight.
Damn it, Trump has the lead in Texas.
Now, by the way, Trump's on the right side.
I don't see your stream, dude.
We don't want taxes to go up. We
Look
want
at my
somebody to
notifications.
stand up against the Castro regime and Maduro. We want somebody that is going to focus on law enforcement.
I don't see your stream. You have to share it to me.
Care about. And so that's why Trump's going to win. And by the way,
Trump ain't gonna win, bitch. Fuck you.
They've had a great grassroots effort down here. This is this whole race.
And Senator, that's your view of Florida. What about the other Sun Belt states?
I don't see your stream,
Do
Mystic.
you see a similar trend potentially?
Share me your stream in Instagram.
Well, I don't follow them as well. I've been really focused on making sure we keep a Republican Senate. So I hope that David Perdue can win tonight, and then hope we have a good runoff for the second seat in Georgia. I think Lindsey Graham's going to have a big win. I think there's a good chance that Tom Tillis can win now. I think we're going to have a good night for Republicans.
Share your deal into Instagram, man.
We're on the right side of the issues for the
I'll look it up.
Are there any counties that surprised you?
Hey, Biden's leading Texas!
That the president would do
And that's
better
going to give him
do better other
30 electoral votes!
Well, I think if you look at the numbers, the
38, 38, 38, 38. He gonna win. Biden.
It's probably Pinellas and Hillsborough, where Biden did a little bit better, it appears, than people thought. But he did so much worse in Miami that it's hard to come back from what
I see it, bro.
Miami. It's really the key to how I win my races. Is you gotta get the Hispanic vote out.
I'm in it, bro.
Vote out for you, and that's what President Trump did.
President Trump can suck my motherfucking dick.
Republicans came out significantly.
All I gotta say, guys, Biden's got Pennsylvania at 100%. 82% out of 16.
In this case, I think it's going to be a big night for Donald Trump in Florida.
Pennsylvania it's going to be a loss for Trump.
Good to have you on.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Honestly, there's not anybody who is more aware of how you win Florida in a tight race. This, Rick Scott, 3 races
Hey, LeBron, woo-woo.
last decade decided by
Let me just pause a second and note that we have this Senate call from Kentucky. Mitch McConnell.
I'll go back to my stream for a little while. I'll come back to your stream in a minute, man.
All right, and we'll also have another call from West Virginia. President Trump will take it as expected.
Fuck!
All right, we will take a break and be back with more of NBC's Decision 2020 election night coverage.
South Carolina, Biden got it! But show that Trump got it.
Ready to go to work? I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wherever you get your podcast.
At 7:30, guys, over here, we will have a new update on the points. Who's in the lead? So far, Joe Biden, guys. I'm thinking Joe Biden's gonna win this election. Woo, 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 woo. You got woo, 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 Democratic president winner. Woo, woo, woo. I don't know why I did that. Fucking doing this. I don't know why I did that. I'm fucking dumb.
Ready to go to work?
Ready to suck my balls? Just kidding.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is
Come
Kamala?
on now. That's Whitney shit. Come on now.
Next in line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcast.
At 1 more minute after 7:28, which it hit 7:29, Joe Biden, if he still has Texas and Kansas, Ohio and Pennsylvania, and Trump took Michigan and Indiana. But Michigan, he'll have 60 electoral votes. It's not going to be too small. But on this area, he's going to have 11. That's about it he's going to have. But I know he'll take them back. But anyway, so he will have Pennsylvania, Kansas, Ohio, and Texas if he still has them by 7:29. At 7:29, if he still has these states, boom, it updates, and he has it. He's still in the lead. But Donald Trump will still be behind. That's not much points.
Police murder of unarmed black men has been an American way of death.
So far, Biden has the lead, guys. But I'm just saying, guys, Biden will take these states if he's still on them and still leading them.
Begun to wonder
I don't see you. I'll be right back.
now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you, whether you're back to school or back to work. We're keeping you safe. Every morning on Today. To NBC News 2020 election coverage, we have got another call that's in the state of Connecticut, and NBC News projects Joe Biden as the winner in Connecticut. Not a big surprise there.
The votes are rolling in. We're looking at Ohio now. It was a battleground for years and years, but it wasn't in 2016. Trump took it by 8, I believe. Exit polls that are interesting in terms of the markets.
I mean, look, I know people are watching the raw returns come in, and the governor, Mike DeWine, said, hey, the Democratic numbers will be high early, Republican numbers come in, but he thought it was going to be close. The exit polls indicate that. And look at the suburban and urban and rural splits here. You know, Trump's vote in 2016, he did, you know, it was sort of 38% of it was from the urban area. What we've seen, while he's increased his margin, he's increased his vote share in rural counties in Ohio, he's decreased his share in suburban and in urban. So the question is, again,
All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Now, if you're Joe Biden,
Let's get back to it.
Ready.
Ready.
Urban counties for rural counties. It's just more raw vote.
So far, guys, 2 minutes. If Biden still has these states,
7 points from 2
he wins them all 4.
And Hillary Clinton lost it by 8.
If he still has New Hampshire, he automatically wins it.
And so we will, but we're going to take a brief pause in the action now.
But Trump will not be in the lead because, look, 85 plus 38 is over 100-something points. Kansas.
In fact, Trump was proven superior to Humira in providing significant.
Kansas is 6 electoral votes,
Increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them.
which he'll get a lead. But if you guys are looking at Ohio, you're looking at 18 electoral votes, which Biden will take, and he'll get higher. Pennsylvania, he'll take a 20 electoral vote, and he'll be in the lead. But Trump, on the other hand, 15. You're looking at 15 there. You're looking at Georgia. You're looking at 9. It's not too much. But Florida, you're looking at least 29 votes. Almost close to taking him lead off. But Michigan, 16. Indiana is taking 11. But if he can win it back before 7:29, he could be able to win it. And Manchester, Joe Biden will have it in another minute at 7:30. And the scores will update.
Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from
Boom, boom, wow, 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 wow.
New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
A real close-knit group of nurses.
So like I'm saying, guys, it's going to win it no other way.
Needed help battling coronavirus. You're not just getting patients.
Oh! North Carolina, we got another point ahead! And Donald Trump lost that state!
Introducing the MSNBC data.
Which means Biden is going to have it at 7:30.
Know and trust for a better understanding of the stories that matter most. Check out the MSNBC.
7:30, he will have it.
MSNBC.
So what I'm going to do, guys, is refresh it.
You're watching NBC News Now. We've got some breaking news.
Are people there concerned?
7:30 is when they update it.
It's news made for your
At 7:30, so it's going to be a slow update. So like I said, guys, he has those states that he's still on, and he's already got them, so they're fixing to update it. And they're going to call it.
Watch what they do, not what they say.
So which means, guys, I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, it's still the same.
Trump and Joe Biden get the trend the center of this campaign, coronavirus.
Either that, guys, or it's going to be at 8 o'clock over here and 9 o'clock done. Something like that.
If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden.
But either way, guys, you're going to see Joe Biden. All on this percentage here, guys. You're looking at Joe Biden winning this election tonight. You're looking at Donald Trump being behind at least about 30 points. And Biden winning at least 30 plus that points. You're looking at Joe Biden winning this whole election. See, guys, Donald Trump just took Arkansas, which means he didn't take a much lead. He didn't take a very good lead. North Carolina, Biden took just now. Ohio, Biden took. Trump only got a couple points up. So 85 to 61. That's all he got. He didn't get very much. But Biden sure will get these other states that he still has.
South Carolina is too early to call. And in Virginia, the presidential race too early, but Biden still hanging on to a lead there. Go to Andrea Mitchell right now. Andrea.
51 to 42! Biden has Alabama 9 electoral votes.
With seniors on the coronavirus, but interestingly, in the exit.
Woo! You're Biden. Whoop, whoop. You got Biden. Whoop, whoop.
Donald Trump was given better marks for him.
So far, guys, Biden's 51 to 42 on TV. Right now on the phone, 85-61.
Which may be surprising, may be very important in Florida. Also,
so, like I said, guys, first couple states that Biden is going to take. Boom. Get
saying Arkansas is up, too early to call the poll.
6 electoral votes for Arkansas. So that's what I'm saying, guys. He only got 6 for Arkansas.
See where it stands, Biden with the lead, but boy, it's early in the night. What are you trying?
Well, look, let me just run through all of the big states we care about. Not much in Pennsylvania's in.
We got 3 locks. Woo, woo.
Trickling in. And here, this is what I'm always curious about. We all are. Okay, our orange and our yellow. Boy, I can barely see it there. You know what that means? We got a long way to go in Pennsylvania. So let's...
Pennsylvania, guys, so far, Biden's still leading it.
Let me take you over to next door, Ohio here. We told you before the break that there was some evidence...
Trump's going to take Illinois, guys. He's already taken it.
Governor Mike DeWine said to me today on air, hey, you know, the essentially...
Well, no, actually, Joe Biden's already taken it. My bad.
The second half should be our leaning.
That's what I've been called.
I like to mess around with the Eries. We got Erie
Indiana is what they're talking about right now, guys.
Erie County could be telling here.
Trump already got that one.
Half the vote in. You see that Joe Biden is winning it. You see why I care about Erie County.
No, the next poll closes at 9 o'clock, guys. Said it'll update for Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
So, look.
So if Joe Biden has the rest of these states that are still blue, he will win it. He will get it up near 200.
Don't pop any champagne corks if you're the Democrats here, but clearly Ohio much more competitive. Let me take you down to North Carolina right now. Another state watching, more than 60% of the vote is in, all the way up to 62 here. And I was talking about margins. Biden had a bad day in Miami-Dade. He's got a really good day in Raleigh and in the triangle here at Wake County. Let me show you something here. You see this split 82% in, 65-33. Let me show you Wake County over the last 3 cycles. As you can see here, Joe Biden, Wake County, this is the Research Triangle. You guys know this. This is, hotbed, a lot of college-educated suburban voters here. And as you can see, this is a case where Joe Biden's outperforming his former running mate by a big-time margin. He's already got a ton of vote here. He's got almost double.
All right, guys, let me get back up here. Hold on.
Trump here, and as you can see,
North Carolina, Biden automatically has it. He's a 65.6% lead. Donald Trump 33.1.
Mecklenburg here, which is Charlotte. I'll show you. As you can see here, he's just already.
It's all on Biden.
Big time, Clinton and Obama. So when you look at what's going on in North Carolina, again.
Show us a red county, because you're telling us this election is going to come down county by county.
That's right.
Up the score.
Well, look, and I always like to spend time out here in these more rural counties. These are big Trump counties, so we can see, is he hitting his numbers here, right? Biden 3 points better. Okay, I'm going to go here, Henderson County. Again, rural county. Again.
There you go, guys. It's back up. I'm going to refresh it, even though it updates little by little.
Here in this part of North Carolina, Rutherford County, another one.
Still the same.
Biden improving by 3 points. This is the story across the board. And again, I do want to point out, it's right down here. Look at this. I worried that my board wasn't going to be letting me write all the way down here on the edge.
So far, guys, it's going to be all for Biden.
And I swear to God, there's a 2% number here. I mean, it is amazing here that you're seeing that. Andrew's brought it up. I mean, that's Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania.
You're saying if there was a third-party vote that drew votes from Clinton in 2016, we don't have that same third-party vote this time.
No, we
This is
don't.
head-to-head, and it's a whole different.
Let's just take a look at Florida and check back in. And as you can see, the lead keeps growing for Donald Trump. So this is not looking like, yes, there's plenty of vote left. Let's look at our gray space here. Still got 1 million votes. So you can't sit here and call anything when you're separated by 225,000 votes here, 1 million votes, but you guys can do the math. Joe Biden got to win a lot of those 1 million votes to make up a 226,000 vote deficit here. Florida is looking a little red tonight.
All right.
Let's bring in Kate Snow and talk a little bit. Go back to Pennsylvania if we can right now. Kate, you spent a lot of time there. This is a place that we saw a lot of Obama voters break for Trump last time around. And
South Carolina, Biden got it.
I tapped into my visit there last week. Describe the dynamics.
But it's still showing that Trump still got it a little though. But either way, guys, it's going to change, and Biden's going to get South Carolina. But on South Carolina, guys, you're looking at 9 electoral votes, and Biden is still behind. But either way, Biden's going to have a lead, and you're looking at Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Ohio, North Carolina, Kansas, Texas. You're looking at a lot of points for Joe Biden to lead up to. And you're looking at a complete set of people in the deal showing that it's going to be Joe Biden completely. Now, Joe Biden's side is going to get 2. About maybe 155, 60. But Donald Trump, on the other hand, he's probably like behind by like 40, 30 points. But you're looking at Biden getting ahead, guys. Either way, you're looking at Biden going to get the lead either way. And yeah, so you're looking at Biden going to win it.
Who voted for Trump? She said she never actually thought he'd win in 2016, but she was attracted to his message of drain the swamp. And now she's completely disenchanted with him. She's just over President Trump and not going to go there. So I think that's going to be a big question, is those red counties, those counties that we think are going to go red for President Trump in Pennsylvania, particularly in the West, perhaps also in the Northeast. There are a lot of rural areas in Pennsylvania. What are they going to do on this election night? Is it going to look like what you're seeing in Florida, where red counties get even more red?
Kate Snow, thank you, Kate.
All right, the economy, the big issue Andrew just mentioned, was showing up in the
Democrat seats. They only need 1 more, guys, and the Senate is over.
What are you seeing tonight?
Senate Democrats will take it.
Savannah, we know that
people vote based on what affects them, not offends them, and that absolutely means money. Back in February, President
Right now, Democrat Senate is 39 to 34.
on the economy as his top issue. COVID changed that. And while normally Republicans do very well on economic issues, we've seen Joe Biden start chipping away at the president's lead on the economy because we don't have a national plan to address COVID. And until we address the health crisis, we're still going to be in this financial crisis. Just think about it, Savannah. While a portion of the country is doing well economically, our recovery has been like a K. For people who can work from home, who can afford to buy homes or cars while interest rates are so low, or people who are invested in the markets. But for millions of others, they're out of work, and if they're out of work, they're at risk of being without health care.
Joe Biden got dollar.
Small businesses at risk. We've got a divided economy at maybe the most crucial time of the year.
All right, thank you very much, Stephanie. We want to turn now to former counsel to the president and manager of his 2016 campaign, Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne, we've been talking about Florida. It seems to be trending in the right direction for your candidate, President Trump. Are you exhaling yet?
No, we know we've got a long way to go. Even in 2016, Savannah, we waited until 2:30 for Secretary.
Man, his counselors vote for Trump. Fuck Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, he's a big bitch, a fucking hoe, he's a slut, he's a big dick, he can suck a fucking dick. Donald Trump ain't shit. He fucked up the country, fucked up the coronavirus, fucking not doing nothing, sitting around, sucking that little dick. He got a dick, ain't got shit. He's a fucking bitch. He's gonna lose the election, but I'm gonna tell you, Joe Biden's gonna win it. He's gonna take the states. When he gets the states, he can suck a dick.
Plus 24 for Joe Biden. So I think that the box that people
Joe Biden's gonna win it. Yeah, Joe Biden's gonna win.
Tossed on its head in
What you thinking now, Donald Trump? You got a long lead. You ain't got nothing. You're an 85 to 61 lead. By Joe Biden. Joe Biden leading your motherfucking ass. Saying go fuck your fucking self. He said I'm gonna win this, bitch. Yeah, whether you like it or not. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Put that on the screen.
So they see in the day of voting, because
fuck Donald Trump.
The Democrats did a fantastic job banking that really first day of early voting. In fact, in places like North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Michigan, they had huge gains in the first day. If you wanted to vote against Donald Trump for the last 4 years, you were ready. You stood in line for hours and you did it. But you can vote early. You can't vote often. You can only vote against him one time. And we're counting on the people who turned out to the rallies, and even those who didn't want to put signs in the yard, stickers on the bumper to turn out today. But we're patient people. We'll see this through the night or through the week if we need to. And I think just like Chuck Todd was going over, we're looking at some counties as well to see 2016, 2020 performance, but also looking at some surprises. Sometimes voters repeat history and sometimes they make history.
Kellyanne, I'm curious, are you comfortable, considering that some of the exit poll numbers you've seen in the prioritizing of the virus versus the economy, and how that looked in certain battleground states? First of all, you don't have a Miami-Dade in a lot of these other battleground states. That's a unique unicorn you guys created, and I think you guys deserve a ton of credit. It's a 4-year project. So kudos to you and that organization. That is an impressive.
Everybody's taking the lead in Montana.
Did on the virus.
Yeah.
And what you've seen in the exits in a lot of these other states.
He's taking in the lead of Montana. So look here, guys. If you take the lead of Montana, in Montana, he's going to get like 10 extra votes. He's ahead. And you're looking at 95 points to 61 against Donald Trump. But you guys, I know you guys love Joe Biden. I know there's some people out there that love Joe Biden. I do too. Joe Biden, 20, motherfucker, 20!
Learned a great deal from both of them. And the president signed into law $1 trillion.
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. 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 Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
Are the chief healthcare officers of our households.
Joe Biden, better Trump, you.
Spent in this country. And even if you
He about to kiss your ass.
say, I'm not particularly worried about me.
But I'm gonna tell you, Trump, you about to get Trump, motherfucker.
From COVID, I'm worried about other people. I'm not just a direct stakeholder or a shareholder.
We're gonna be lying until Biden wins the election.
We haven't been able to visit. I'm worried about.
Yeah, Biden got Alabama.
And
Biden got Alabama.
Healthcare being a very
Biden got Alabama.
I think that going back in time and taking more credit and reminding people
Alabama.
Came together. Do you remember Chuck?
Joe Biden still lives, but there's 1% reporting. And it's going to give Joe Biden still the lead, no matter what.
I think at that time the country.
But I think, guys, that Joe Biden is really going to win this election today, and we're going to have the better president than what we've had before. And Biden got Connecticut.
As Dr. Collins says at NIH, has never seen anything come together for the government and the private sector. Stuff that it takes to have a baby. We've developed a vaccine.
What the fuck we talking about babies? What the fuck?
That's great news for everyone. That will help the therapeutics mitigate the virus. The vaccine will eradicate the virus.
Come on, fucking England.
That will come sometime at the end of the year or early next year.
Kellyanne Conway, thank you so much for being with us. Let me get some thoughts from Casey.
What I'm saying, guys,
well, at this
Biden's going to take this lead, no matter what.
I'm continuing to talk to sources across the country who are watching numbers in these key states. At Florida, I would say you were just talking a little bit about some of the reasons why Florida seems to be trending for President Trump. But Democrats I'm talking to are essentially saying that they're at the point where they're basically ready to write it off for Joe Biden, and they're starting to talk about.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna look at the Senate,
to Chuck Todd's,
and so far, Democratic is still in the lead.
Of Orlando, as a place
Democrats need a little more to win the majority of the party for 2 seats.
For example, in Georgia.
And
so I think
you're looking at
tells you
these points here
that having a tough night here in Florida.
There's
also House races in Florida where we may
there's a 68% on that one. Then you got Alabama and this state here doesn't show any votes for seats, but you'll know the measures of
every
everything.
member of Congress is up for re-election, and
But we're really looking at Biden and Trump in the Senate. Either way, Biden takes the split election, man! Woo-hoo-hoo!
But that Shalala race potentially a warning sign for them.
All right, Casey, thank you very much. If you had Chuck Todd's mom in your drinking game, you're having a good night so far.
Yeah, Biden takes Massachusetts. Yeah, Biden takes Massachusetts.
Senator Mitch McConnell delivering his.
Senator Mitch McConnell can suck my dick.
Will he be majority leader or minority leader?
He only took Kentucky.
The voters of the United States will tell. We'll be watching.
Mitch McConnell took Kentucky. He lost every other state.
Good morning, welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall,
Biden still has his other states. 8 o'clock is when they will be. 10 o'clock is when the election is fully over. So that's like a 3-hour stream or 4. But if we do 4, it'd be good. Trump is in the lead in North Dakota.
Good morning, welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, every morning on Today.
So like I said, guys, Biden's going to win. You guys like it or not?
Has been an American way of death across.
Hey, give me that now.
Seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced in Congress, I've begun to wonder if now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
Ready to go to work? I'm so ready to go to work.
Had to put the picture in there, guys, so you guys know what I'm live streaming
But
for.
who is Kamala Harris?
By the way.
Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
A close-knit group of nurses who pulled together when their boss needed help battling coronavirus. You're not just a patient, you're a friend. These folks save their life. Thank God that there are people who want to run away from the pandemic as opposed to running away from the pandemic.
We vote for Joe Biden. Donald Trump, get out of my house. Donald Trump no more. He says, "Get up there and go fuck yourself." We don't want to see Trump no more. We want Biden to get in there. But I'm telling you, Trump, you ain't going. 'Cause you can suck this dick. What the fuck going on? All I got to say is Joe Biden's gonna win. That's all I gotta say. Like I said, guys, Joe Biden's gonna win it. Well, either way you guys like it or not. All these votes are unknown. By 8 o'clock in my region and 9 o'clock in some of you guys' area, it'll update the points and show who takes the fucking lead. I bet you Joe Biden's gonna keep the lead.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the center of this campaign. Coronavirus the story.
They're like 27 points away from each other.
The final stretch of the 2020 race from every angle. As you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now?
On at 8 o'clock over here, guys, here in Nebraska, he will. Joe Biden will take Kansas, Missouri, or Montana. I mean, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, New Hampshire, Texas at 8 o'clock here and 9 o'clock y'all's region. If he still has them by then. If he still has them by then, guys, then he'll surely still be the lead.
All night long and then for several days. One of the really
New Hampshire Biden takes the 4 points.
Won the suburban counties, the 4 big suburban counties outside of Philadelphia by 180,000 votes. That was not nearly enough to offset Donald Trump's big strength out west, where Casey Hunt was talking about, Kate Snow was talking about, and
New Jersey, Biden got it.
Still working. In any case, what they now think is that
Pennsylvania, Joe Biden.
That's what they really need to do for Joe Biden, and that's what they're.
Trump losing. Dun dun dun.
Western Pennsylvania areas.
70-30 for Trump.
Over
Yes.
Clinton.
Yeah.
They think that Joe Biden, coming from Scranton, being a working class union guy,
Joe Biden got Ohio. Donald Trump did with it.
Biden people. Nationally, seniors are going marginally for Trump over Biden.
Dun dun dun.
Strong Biden votes. Seniors worried about healthcare, worried about COVID. But so far, it's 51 48, something like that.
So for seniors did not abandon Trump over the coronavirus, but we'll see what happens in the suburbs, as you say.
Let's take a look at North Carolina. A fair amount of the
a lot of votes in
there, Chuck.
No, a lot of the votes in. Biden's holding a lead here. As you can see, he's got 219,000 vote lead. I want to show you something here just so you can see how much vote is left. So he's got about 200,000 vote lead. We think there's about one.
Biden has North Carolina.
Three counties.
Donald Trump.
Already.
Dun dun dun.
149. Okay, with 70% in. Let me just show you Hillary Clinton. When all the votes were counted,
it
was 2.189. First of all, you can see turnout is way up, but you can see Democrats.
All right, guys.
In particular,
at least 8 minutes until these points update.
I showed you Mecklenburg.
As soon as these update, these polls for the blue ones close. If Joe Biden still has them, he will win it. He'll be the lead though. Either way.
Obama carried North Carolina, and as you can see, he got
Joe Biden, Mecklenburg County.
He could That's how you win the state of North Carolina, guys.
51 to 48.
Thank you, Chuck. Joining us now, Jose Diaz-Balart. He's in Florida.
Biden still has the lead, guys. Texas, Biden wins it. Dun dun dun. Donald Trump lost it.
Vote and persuasion operation dedicated to South Florida.
Biden down Burma.
Indeed, good evening.
Donald Trump, dun dun dun.
Donald Trump ends up winning the state of Florida, it could have a lot to do with
Donald Trump got up a little bit.
And the Latino vote in South Florida, specifically Cuban American.
But Biden will get it, guys.
American voters.
It is still not in the lid at all.
And some Colombian American voters that for
Trump did just now get
Donald Trump has been working
Indiana
very consistently, insistently, and also there's been a very strong push for the last months that Democrats are socialists, and that attack went unanswered for a long time. Maybe that will have some impact on how Florida.
It's not all there, guys.
We'll wait and see.
All right, Jose, my friend.
What are you saying, Andy Post?
Much more to come on this election night.
Man, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
Ready to go to work?
Yeah, you piece of shit.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6th.
Yeah, let's go, Joe Biden.
Next in line.
Yeah, let's go, Biden.
Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job to ask the tough questions, left and right, and help you make sense of it all.
Ready to go to work? I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world.
All right, guys. Here we go.
President Trump and
Some of the Blues are going to update in 5 minutes.
the story. The battleground blitz as we
Each hour they update.
to the 2020 race
From every angle.
If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now?
On the ground.
The wind standing these flames are expected to last another.
Come on, Joe Biden. Yeah, come on, Joe Biden.
Two vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
NBC Nightly News.
Hey, Joe Biden. Hey, Joe Biden. Hey, Joe Biden. Hey, Joe Biden. Come on, boys, outdoors, shout for Biden. Hey, Joe Biden. Hey, Joe Biden. Hey, fuck Donald Trump. Hey, fuck Donald Trump.
Death across centuries after seeing the most comprehensive.
Hey, fuck you just like us. Hey, fuck you just like us. Hey, fuck Donald Trump.
If now is the time the protesters finally win.
Like I said, guys, win Texas, you can do it. Yeah, he'll win Texas, guys. He's got 4 minutes.
SNBC.
In Texas, he will, boom, have it. Because, guys, look, in Texas, he will have 38 votes added to his score after he wins it in 3 more minutes, if he still has it. 8 o'clock, if he still has Texas, he will win Texas and still be in the lead.
There will be a lot of closings coming up at 9 o'clock. Let's walk you through them. Battlegrounds, including Arizona, Michigan, Minnesota.
Arizona.
We're calling Texas something of a battleground this year. It shows you what an extraordinary year it is. In just a few moments, we will have those poll closings. We are starting to fill out our map already. Some surprises. And one thing that is not surprising, Florida was tight, but so far it is trending in the president's direction. A must-win tonight.
And as we wait for the next big round of poll closings at the top there, we'll pause here briefly. You are watching Decision 2020.
51 to 48 still. 51 to 48 still on the TV, guys. We got a couple minutes. He will have Texas.
Psoriasis, uncover clear skin.
I want to do this whole stream till Biden wins this bitch.
Superior to Humira in providing significantly clearer skin.
Biden's gonna have Texas, guys. It's true.
Tell your doctor.
A couple states gonna close, and Biden's gonna still have the lead, no matter what.
Serious allergic reactions may occur.
270. If he hits 270, boom, he has it.
Janssen can help you explore possible.
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
Police
Yeah, fuck Donald Trump.
Men has been an American way of death across centuries.
Kind of crazy how Texas is still undecided state this year. Quagmire on Biden's current success. All right.
If now is the time. If now
all
is
right.
the time, the protesters.
Yeah, come on, buddy. You got Texas. Woo!
The last word. O'Donnell. Weeknights at 10 on.
One more minute, guys, and then updates. If I'm right.
You ready to go to work?
Come on.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast.
Come on.
Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every
Come
month.
on.
Subscribe for free wherever you get
Come
your
on, have Texas, have Texas, have Texas, have Texas.
Pulled together when their boss needed help battling coronavirus. You're not just any patient. You're the friend.
Come on.
These folks say,
Come on.
Thank God that there are people.
You got this, Biden.
Woo!
Come on, Biden. Joe Biden. Hey, let's go, Biden. Hey, let's go, Biden. Hey, let's go, Biden. Hey, let's go, Biden.
At MSNBC.com.
All right, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the other region. Polls are over for certain states. Let's see if Joe Biden got it.
It's news made for your streaming world.
Come on, update. I'm going to refresh it. Okay, it's still there, but they will give it to him in a minute. Because he still has it, no matter what. It's still undecided, though, guys, but he will have it.
Watch what they do.
Because he's still blue. On the Senate, guys, let's see if the Senate's won.
President Trump and Joe Biden.
All right.
At the center of this
Democratic Party still in the lead.
Battleground blitz as we enter the final stretch of the 2020 race from every angle. If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now? On the ground.
Yeah, short.
These flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
And
come on.
We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
NBC Nightly News with Leslie Holt.
On the evening at the top of the hour about
He got it! Woo! He's still in the lead! Woo! He got New Mexico! 119 to 92! Woo!
Arizona, Michigan, Minnesota.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! 119 to 92, boys! He gon' win it! He gon' win it! He gon' win it! He gon' win it! He got it!
In Georgia.
He got New Mexico, boys.
Also North Carolina.
He got this place.
Too early.
And let's look at Ohio.
They got a couple other states, guys.
There too. And for folks wondering,
woo!
voting,
Still in the lead.
either in person or by mail, like we've never seen before.
All right.
100 million people voted before Election Day, and if you are wondering, yes, we've taken that into account when we.
Oh yeah.
Number it includes the estimated early vote as well as the day of vote, and we're awaiting those 9 o'clock poll closings. Texas and Arizona, big Latino populations, but a different kind than what we've been talking about.
Biden got Texas! Oh yeah!
Too early to call at this hour.
Oh come on!
In Arizona, it is also too early to call, as you might expect.
Michigan, too early to call.
Got some results in from Minnesota. Not many, actually. Too early to call there. Wisconsin, it's going to be a long one.
Hey, let's go, Biden. If he wins on this phone, guys, it means that Biden will win on the TV.
Kansas, too early.
Come on, Texas. Yo, come on, Texas.
Louisiana, too early. Biden with the lead.
All right, and let's look at Nebraska. Too early to
New Mexico's one of the states needed to win. Woo!
Congressional district that can be quite.
Guys, you're going for Trump and about what has he done for us? Dang, it's so stressful. Yes, sir. Woo! We need that. Come on, Texas.
In South Dakota,
Can't wait for him to get Texas.
Too early to call. And Wyoming, it's too early to call Trump with a lead there.
So let's look at 200.
Biden has all in.
Eastern time, 6.
Biden 80-48. Woo! On the TV. Let's go.
numbers don't quite count. We're going to have to wait for all the votes to be counted. Andrea, we were talking about Texas and Arizona.
Buddy, yes, 82-48. Woohoo!
Was saying Miami-Dade, Florida,
On the TV.
the American community is a unicorn. It's a very different kind of Latino vote in Arizona and in Texas. In Texas, Latinos going by plus 19 for Joe Biden.
All right, hey, Joe Biden's in the lead in Colorado.
For Joe Biden over Donald Trump. Obviously, a different composition. Only 8 plus 8 for Joe Biden over Donald Trump in Florida. So that shows you the disparity, where you've got different groups.
Oh no, we've got 38 to 45.
More Mexican Americans, more from other parts of South America, less of the, obviously, very few of the Cuban Americans.
Shit.
Very different.
6.7, damn, 8, fuck.
Latino vote's going to be big in Arizona and Texas, as is the suburban vote. But there's obviously big swaths of rural parts of those states that tend to be Trump country.
It is, and Texas is going.
New York, Biden got it in New York.
They're going to be in there. But I want to talk Ohio, because Ohio, believe it or not, has been sitting there. Again, we're still waiting for somebody to win a road game. Right? We have yet to have a flip. But as you can see, we got 53% of the vote in. Biden's holding about a 266,000 vote advantage here. And just so you show, we still got a ton of vote, right? Nearly.
Hey, he's gonna win it.
Are left to count.
Hey, he's gonna win it.
Just so you can see.
Hey, Joe Biden's gonna win it, boys.
Mike DeWine basically said half the vote was early and half the vote was expected today. Governor of Ohio. On election day.
It's just showing a little bit of the points on the TV, guys, so it is he's going to win it no matter what.
If Joe Biden's going to make a comeback in Ohio, he's going to have to flip a whole bunch of what we call the Obama-Trump counties. All of these counties here right now, and what you see in the red, if they're red, they're still trending Trump, and if they're blue, they're trending Biden. So we can see here, Wood County, a small county here. This is right now. You can see Trump narrowly carried it by 8 points. A ton of third-party vote here. Ton of third-party vote. In Ohio did really well. Johnson did much better there. But as you can see, this is a county that Obama carried. Biden hasn't caught his number there, but he's getting close, and he's obviously going to.
No matter what, guys, Joe Biden is going to win.
Monitoring these Obama Trump counties, particularly in Ohio, because the only path for Biden to somehow pull the Ohio upset is if he's going to take most of these counties that Trump carried and flips most of them, if not all.
Hey, fuck Donald Trump.
The president.
Hey, fuck Donald Trump.
Well, all this.
Hey, fuck Donald Trump.
He's been ahead, but the margins have been smaller. It's been a little bit.
I'm trying to be allowed to
there is a bit of Joe Biden. It plays a little bit better in Ohio than maybe any other Democrat that had run. For president during this primary.
I want to put up Florida again because we've changed.
So far, guys, Joe Biden's leading 119 to 92.
Okay, Trump now officially leading in Florida.
Okay, guys, now officially Trump has taken Florida.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Kristen Welker, who's at Biden headquarters. Hey, Kristen, what's the talk there as Florida starts to...
Alabama, Biden takes Alabama. Woo, woo, woo. Don't jump. Dun, dun, dun.
By officials that they're in a wait-and-see mode, but they still feel very confident about their path to 270. And look, we go back to this idea that they fought hard for Florida, but didn't need Florida in order to win. There are a number of other paths, but the question is, what is this potentially...
Florida, guys, is only 29 electoral votes.
I put that question to a campaign official who said not a whole
Which
lot.
means Donald Trump's going to take the lead.
They think that the electorate is unique in Florida for all of the reasons that you've been talking about,
We
particularly
don't need him taking
in
the
the
lead.
Miami-Dade area. They think that the president's attacks trying to characterize
But
Joe Biden is socialist.
Joe Biden will take a new state ahead of
He
you.
would reject outright. But one top Democrat telling me they still feel very solid about their chances in Georgia and North Carolina. Now, what if they don't win either state? Well, officials tell me that is okay because
Hey, fuck Donald Trump.
to 270 without
Hey, fuck Donald Trump.
States, he would need to live
Hey, fuck
Michigan,
Donald Trump.
Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. And so that is why you have Joe Biden visiting Pennsylvania 14 times, more than any other battleground state since he won the nomination. That's why he was there again today in Scranton, in Philadelphia, really trying to drive up the vote.
I'm just going to keep on the TV, guys. Biden winning election.
Of course, that part of the
Me and my
Obama
little
coalition
videos.
that did not turn out in force in 2016.
Yeah, I know. Biden's going to win it, guys. No matter what.
State of Pennsylvania, Savannah and Lester.
I couldn't find it. Goddamn hot here. It's sweating
Jackson
my
right
balls.
now at the White House. Allie?
So we've been talking about Ohio. Chuck just had that up on the big board there. That's a really interesting state because the Trump campaign, folks that I've been talking to throughout the day and into the evening here, had been feeling confident about the way that was going to go. Based on some of the polling that Savannah mentioned, they've been seeing something similar internally. That was actually the battleground that they felt most confident about, along with Florida. So that is one.
Next poll closing, guys, is 9 o'clock, which is 10 o'clock in y'all's region.
That again, with still very early in the night, still a lot of
some of them will get it, guys.
In some parts of Ohio, what we're looking for there. You've also got this state, as Kristen was talking about with the Biden campaign.
Trump got Nebraska, guys. That's where I'm living at.
That's actually the place where President Trump campaigned more than anywhere else. And I can tell you that there are some counties that the Trump team is looking at tonight. So Dauphin County, for example, that's kind of in the central eastern part of the state near Harrisburg. You've got some of those collar counties right around Philadelphia, Bucks County, Chester County, Montgomery County. They're looking at Erie County, for example, in the western part of the state, a more sort of rural area, an area where the president feels confident. He has spent so much time in that state because it is critically important. Another state the president.
Okay, guys, Donald Trump's in the lead of Wisconsin.
I was just there yesterday, actually, in Fayetteville.
No, Republicans only got 3 seats left. They're going to tie it up.
Looking specifically at those, if we could go back to that big board, when we do, those counties still in gray, right around Raleigh, Durham, right? Because that is going to be really important.
Biden takes North Carolina. Will. Donald Trump. Dun, dun, dun.
On North Carolina here. And then the other state that I'll mention is Georgia, too. Looking at what the president's performance will be, that is a state that, again, is sort of on the cautiously optimistic to optimistic bubble for Team Trump based on our latest reporting.
All right, Hallie, thank you. And joining us now, NBC News.
Yeah, guys, we're just going to give New Mexico to Joe Biden.
The Salem
That's
Radio
why they give it
Network,
to him.
a Trump supporter, and Maria Teresa Kumar, president and CEO of Voto Latino, a Biden supporter. Welcome to both of you. Let me talk to you, Maria Teresa, how you feel about what has happened in Florida. We haven't called it, but of course the president is
Louisiana, guys, he only got 8 electoral votes, guys.
Disappointing for Joe Biden in particular.
As Donald Trump got.
Votes.
So, first of all, everybody knew that Florida was going to be the problem child. It was a very close call. As Andrea was mentioning earlier, that the Latino vote is not monolith. But for folks watching really closely, the other states that are up for grabs are Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, and Arizona. 4 of those states, and this one really differentiates the
all right, guys, so far, Biden has 260 votes left to win.
That was a political awakening moment for the Latino community roughly about 6-7 years ago.
Hey, Biden got leading Minnesota.
That have not only run for office, but are quite
They
competitive.
give him 10 electoral votes.
In Texas, you see that in North Carolina, you see that in Georgia, and absolutely in Arizona. And you also see an aging in
North Carolina, Joe Biden took it.
In Texas, you have 25% of Latino
Joe
youth
Biden took North Carolina. They already took that one.
and they're outperforming. 33% of the people in the Latino community that sat it out last time, Savannah, are voting again. So you see a huge surge in these populations where in these states where there has been a lot of friction and a lot of anti-immigrant policies. Florida
Damn
is
it,
simply
Mr. Conrad,
that's not the
fucking,
case. We don't have those really diminishing.
Biden getting Texas by 6%.
All right, Hugh, let me bring in here. Talk about North Carolina. What do you see there that may worry you or may encourage you?
The good news out of North Carolina is that it's more solidly Tom Tillis than I'd expected it to be at this hour. In fact, the Senate everywhere is looking very good for Republicans. John James, I believe, is running ahead President Trump in Michigan. The early numbers on David Perdue.
We got 3 watching, guys. Shout out to 3 watching.
It looks like a runoff in the special. I spoke to Joni Ernst earlier today. She's feeling very confident.
Hey, Mark got Massachusetts. That's how Biden won.
As good as I feel about the president right now and the Senate, and go back to Ohio, which Chuck was looking at, my hometown of Trumbull County, is first went for the President Trump in 2016 for the first time for a Democrat since Richard Nixon in 1972. Can he hang on there? And the big difference in Ohio.
See what the House has got, guys.
And you guys will know is that Rob Portman is not.
Oh, fuck. The Republican Party has got 49. Damn it. No, fucking Democrats got 35. That's not good.
Republicans in Ohio is not on the ballot. He helped get the president over the line 4 years ago. So I'm watching that with great concern. But I am very cheered by the Florida numbers. There are some people I know NBC has not called Florida, but some people have called Florida for President Trump. And so I'm very cheered that that's an early call. And I extrapolate that out to a few congressional districts in California where that
voter who left a socialist country. That's how I'm characterizing it. That would include Venezuelans, that would include Nicaraguans, that would include people, of course, from Cuba. I think that vote, as Maria was talking about, is one that we've got to keep an eye on in the California congressional district that will matter.
Alright, guys, it's 80 to 51 for Donald Trump, guys. They had a couple points added up.
Some more red votes pretty quickly.
All right, Hugh and Maria, thanks to both of you.
Thank you. All right, let's bring in Casey Hunnan. Have you got some reporting on North Carolina, which we're watching closely, Texas as well?
That's right, Savannah. As I've been talking to sources on both sides of the aisle, and one of the places that I try to look is to find agreement in terms of what we're seeing. And both sides of the aisle do seem to be in agreement that Thom Tillis, who's running for Senate in North Carolina, seems to be performing better, certainly than many of my sources expected he might. And I will say both Democratic and Republican sources who were pretty concerned about Tillis, if you were a Republican, and whether he was going to be able to hang on. And that, of course, raises questions about where things stand in the presidential race.
No, it's 39-37. Fuck.
Is very, very close, but my Democratic sources are less optimistic about it than they were just an hour or so ago. And that's a trend that's holding across the Sun Belt, Texas as well. There was a chance that Democrats were perhaps going to take back the Texas State House. That has incredible repercussions as we head into a season of redistricting. They're now not optimistic that that's something that they're going to be able to pull off, although we still have a lot of data out there. There's also questions about Georgia. Senator David Perdue, a Republican, who also potentially, we had talked about, was in danger from a Democratic challenger. Some of the conversations heading into the night were, would David Perdue's opponent get 50%? Increasingly, it's now looking like Perdue may be in much better shape. That also raises questions about where the Biden campaign stands in Georgia, although my sources are also saying that there do seem to be a fair number of ticket splitters, people that are voting for Joe Biden, but who are also voting for David Perdue. So that underscores this trend that perhaps people are voting for Republican senators, but are willing to take a look at Joe Biden, Savannah.
All right, Casey, thank you. And let's look at some of the Senate races. There's a hot race going in Arizona between Mark Kelly and Martha McSally, the incumbent there. We are awaiting vote. Arizona does almost all of its voting by mail, but hasn't reported votes out yet in any significance. Here in Colorado, Cory Gardner, the incumbent, is widely
winner yet even over yet.
Potentially lose his seat tonight, and sure enough, former Governor John Hickenlooper is leading in that race.
All right, let's look at Kansas Senate. Too early in that race.
Michigan's Senate race, too early to call there. That's another Democrat who some felt might be on the rope, so we'll watch that one. Minnesota's got a Senate race going. It is too early to call there.
In New Mexico, too early. Texas, John Cornyn will, the incumbent, will hold on to his seat. We project him as the winner.
And let's look at South Dakota. We are projecting that Mike Rounds, the senator, the incumbent, will go back to Congress. And here's how it's shaking out at this hour. That is the breakdown. Remember that Democrats would have to gain 3 seats if they win the White House to gain control of the majority, and 4 if the president is reelected. We'll keep our eye on that. We'll take a quick
president better not be reelected.
Much more as election night coverage continues right here on NBC.
Still sick, guys.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you, whether you're back to school.
Don't need no copyright. So far, guys, it's still 119 to 92. Either way, guys, Biden's going to win it. Damn it, Republicans, fuck you.
After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill,
fuck the Republicans. Fuck the Republicans.
To wonder if now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally.
Come on.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell.
weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
You ready to go to work? I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore
Kamala Harris is a
journey from
bitch.
Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala Next in Line. New episodes every Monday.
Kamala is a damn Republican. She go fuck herself.
A real close-knit group of nurses who pulled together when their boss needed help battling coronavirus. You're not just any patient, you're their friend. These folks saved my life. Thank God that there are people who want to run towards a pandemic as opposed to running away from a pandemic.
Introducing the MSNBC Daily, featuring written perspectives by
Damn
experts
it.
you know
Republicans
and trust
keep going
for a
up.
better
Fuck.
understanding of the stories that matter most. Check out the MSNBC Daily today at msnbc.com.
You're watching NBC News Now. We've got some breaking news.
Are people there concerned about what impact this could have on the election?
It's news made for your streaming world.
Ah, fuck.
Watch what they do, not what they say.
Man, come on, Joe Biden.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the trail at the center of this campaign.
Biden.
2020 race from every angle. If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now?
On the ground,
The wind standing these flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
and in depth,
We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
NBC Nightly News with Leslie Holt.
To make in the presidential race in Colorado, Biden.
Hey, Biden got Colorado.
Projected winner.
Okay, so if you're keeping track at home, that's one apiece. Let's bring Garrett Haken. He's in Houston, Texas. Texas saw just an enormous outpouring of early vote. Garrett, what are we seeing now as the results are starting to come in?
Come on, Democrats.
Savannah, as those early votes are getting counted in the big cities, you're seeing Joe Biden build a bit of a firewall here in Harris County, in Dallas County, in Tarrant County. That's the Fort Worth area. That particular county is essentially tied, but big leads for Biden in Dallas County and Harris County, but perhaps not big enough.
Tied.
He's outperforming Hillary Clinton's
Actually, no. Trump's got a little lead
but
in
he's
Texas.
about on par with where Beto O'Rourke was in 2018 in a race that O'Rourke ended up losing by about 2.5 points. The other sign of concern for Democrats in the state, the Rio
8:30, guys,
Grande
is
Valley,
another state going to be called for its
places like McAllen, Texas,
side.
are pretty underperforming for Biden as of where Clinton was 4 years ago. The trick for Democrats here was always going to be run up the score in a major way in Harris County. Now with just the early votes in, Biden does have a firewall, but as these same-day votes start to come in, you just wonder if it's going to be enough for him to hold on in a state that was always a bit of a reach state for Democrats, but one where they feel a lot of demographic trends and people moving into the state might give them a shot at flipping this state for the first time in some 40 years. Savannah?
All right, Garrett, thank you. Interesting, though, to see that theme now in a different region of the country where the Latino vote.
Hey, Joe Biden got 9 more points.
Biden, as he expected, at least.
89 to 51.
Georgia in a minute, but I do want to make a point about North Carolina that's very important. Remember what we were going to tell you about this? Look at, so 78% of the vote is in, right? That's a lot of vote. Remember what the orange means. The orange is the vote that took place before today, okay? The yellow is what is the vote that's coming in. And what we're waiting, basically, Biden's been sitting on his early vote lead. And what we're waiting to come in this last 21% of the
Trump
vote,
went up 3 points, guys.
We know Trump won election day vote. The question is, did he win by enough to make up that margin?
Nope.
That's going to be how we're watching North Carolina over the next hour or so on there. So I just want to
should update on here, guys,
on that and realize what vote
in
is
a little
out,
bit.
And it's election day vote right now that we have not seen that much of in North Carolina. Let me take you to Georgia. It's just starting to come in. Some of the rural counties come in. I'll just give you an example. Here we are. Here, this is where either Biden wins or loses this. This is the Atlanta suburbs, the monster region here, and you'll see we still only have 1% of the vote in DeKalb County. So we've got a long way to go. But I want you to watch a county here. This is the next county out. The closest red county to Atlanta these days. Trump narrowly carrying it, and you can just see 4 years ago he carried it by almost 20 points. And this is the question, and you see here Romney carried it by 31 points over President Obama. So the question is, and it's the same story as Texas, right? How much of an advantage can Biden build out of Atlanta and its suburbs, and can he keep encroaching, keep finding some exurban counties like Fayette there that I'm telling you about, and then overcome that strong rural vote for Donald Trump? It's basically the same story almost in every one of these battleground states.
All right, Chuck, thank you. We're going to take a quick break now. We'll be back with more Decision 2020 election night coverage in just a moment.
You ready to go to work? I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes.
Fuck you, Kamala.
Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job.
Damn foot behind me, dude.
Left and right.
You just kicked me, brat.
Sense of it all.
Put your damn foot down. Fuck this.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job to ask the tough questions, left and right, and help you make sense of it all.
You ready to go to work? I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe
So far,
Biden's
guys,
choice to be next in line. But who is
Joe
Kamala
Biden has
Harris?
this state.
Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Governments, guys, that should update on certain states.
Biden hit the center of this campaign, coronavirus destroyed. The battleground blitz as we enter the final stretch of the 2020 race from every angle. If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now?
On the ground.
The wind standing these flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
And in depth.
We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you, whether you're back to school or back to work. We're keeping you safe. Every morning on Today.
Police murder of unarmed black men has been an American way of death across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced in Congress, I've begun to wonder if now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win. The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
Come on, update,
Good morning.
update.
Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you, whether you're back to school or back to work. We're keeping you safe. Every morning on Today.
Hoping Joe Biden's gonna win, guys. We're hoping that. They're surprising the lead.
Welcome back. During the break, some new
Oh,
polls.
shit.
Let's look at
89 to
North
63
Dakota.
on the TV, guys.
And President Trump is the projected winner in North Dakota.
In Alabama,
Fuck!
President Trump is
Biden had ass some bullshit.
Senate race going on there. We'll check in with that in a few moments.
And looking at Florida once again, checking in there is too close to call, but Trump leads in Florida. And in Texas,
Biden has it by
Well, it's only been 25
more
minutes. Polls
votes.
closed in Texas and Arizona, a couple of states that folks are going to be watching very, very closely. We'll continue to monitor it. We've got much more election coverage to come here on NBC. We'll be back in just a few.
Oh my God, Aaron took a. Hey, Biden! It's 122. What state did he take? What state did he take? He took this state. District of Columbia.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you, whether you're back to
All
school,
right. 122 to 92.
keeping you safe. Every morning on Today.
Police murder of unarmed black men has been an American way of death across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced in Congress,
It'll update on the TV, guys. It's got to give it a
if
while.
now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win.
Either way, guys, you're going to see Biden in the White House
With Lawrence O'Donnell
doing all kinds of shit to help us.
on MSNBC.
You ready to go to work? I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris?
Oh my
Join
God,
me,
shut the
Joy Reid,
fuck up. Kamala Harris. Who is Kamala Harris? A dumb bitch. Probably a Republican. The dumb Republican this. Fucker.
You're not just any patient. You're their friend. These folks saved my life.
Kamala Harris.
There are people
Man, Kamala Harris.
Introducing the MSNBC Daily.
Man, fuck Kamala Harris.
Perspectives by experts you
Unless you're
know
Democrat,
and
then I'll vote
for
for
a better understanding of the stories that matter most. Check out the MSNBC Daily today at MSNBC.com.
You're watching NBC News Now. We've got some breaking news.
Unless Kamala Harris is on Joe Biden's side, and that's different.
on the election.
It's news made for your streaming
I'm
world.
gonna look it up. Is Kamala Harris a Republican or a Democrat? Oh, the Democrat. She's a Democrat. My bad. My bad. She's a Democrat.
Watch what they do, not what they say.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the trail center of this campaign for Rome.
All right, guys.
The battleground is as we enter the final
That was a
stretch of the
Democrat. My bad.
2020 race.
I apologize. Kamala Harris.
Joe Biden and President Trump. What would you want to tell them right now?
On the ground.
No! Donald Trump leading Texas. Oh, shit.
Another 24 hours. And in depth.
We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold.
No.
People will be concerned.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
It is almost 9:30 in the East. Let's show you where we are right now.
All right, Florida, too close to call, but the president is leading. A lot of the vote is in, so we anticipate a call coming up pretty soon. In Pennsylvania, it is too early to call, and that may well be
Pennsylvania, Biden's gonna get it.
4 days.
Let's look at Texas. This is a place that Joe Biden has tried to turn blue. It is too early in Texas right now. Arizona, it is too early as well.
Let's take a look at Arizona, see how much vote is in at this hour. Too early to call. It doesn't look like they've reported any, but let's go to Michigan now. Too early to call there, but that is a battleground one closely watched.
Hey, still, the Democratic still at 40.
Back to blue this year. North Carolina.
Damn, the Republican Party. God damn it.
Very closely. That's another one that the Democrats had hoped to flip.
We've been keeping a big eye on Ohio as well. 60% in their 18 electoral votes. That's too early.
Ohio.
And
He got
Georgia as
fucking
well.
dumbass
This
got
is
Georgia.
another state that Joe Biden has tried to add to the expanded map. Too early in Georgia.
The map's starting to fill out a little bit, but we've
Come
got
on, take
to
us turn
do
blue.
Questions. I don't believe we've yet to call a battleground, Chuck. So
Well, we haven't, and we certainly haven't seen a flip yet. But Florida looks like, we have an idea where it's headed because we're telling you, we think Trump is leading here. We're at 80%.
Trump ain't leading.
How
Biden's
North
leading, you
Carolina
dumb
is to me
fuck.
The next shoe to drop here, I think we see as the vote comes in, and as you can see, Joe Biden's margin is now less than 100,000, still 20%, still a million.
2,355,140
That,
votes
right now,
on Biden. There's an
it's these
85,644
great counties,
difference,
we don't have anything in
motherfucker.
yet. And if you want an idea, this one next to Raleigh here, this is something.
Which means Biden's gonna win it,
expected
you
to be
fuck.
a big Trump county. You have this empty county here. Franklin's expected to be a Trump county. This one here. So you can see this is why there's pessimism on the Democratic side, optimism on the Republican side when it comes to where we are with North Carolina. And let me take you over to Georgia. Let's just get an update there to see.
Trump to
This
Florida.
is trickling in here 40%. We're still, until I see more than 1% out of DeKalb, we still got a long way to go.
Hey, Senate 40-37.
Same game, but going back to North Carolina, that's what you're going to keep following. That should be the next shoe to drop, I think, before 11 o'clock.
All right.
All right. Let's turn to Andrea Mitchell right now. Talk a little bit about the expectations leading in tonight, the worries about Russia and Iran and meddling in our election. Any signs of any of that?
No signs of any cyber. There was a lot of misinformation leading up to the election, but no signs of any cyber hacking. But we've now learned from two sources that U.S. Cyber Command did take offensive military action against government-linked hackers in both Russia.
No, 89 to 72. Trump's getting up there.
Official sources to us as annoyances, not flushing blows, similar to what they did in the run-up to the 2018 midterms. We've seen no signs, as I say, of cyber hacking so far, targeting this.
Oh, it's getting certain states on it. That's not on the here yet.
Last time
the ones that aren't here, guys, they're getting it on the TV.
And then the government hackers were.
Either way, Biden's still leading.
The biggest worry seemed to be more influence campaigns as opposed to
and that we certainly saw plenty of signs.
Come on, Texas, get it back. Get back. Come on, Joe Biden, get Texas back.
And they've been tracking it. Russia, Iran, and to a lesser degree, China.
All right, Andrea.
I believe we have a call in South Carolina to make in the presidential race. Again, an expected result. The president will take South Carolina. But let's stay on this subject of national security. We've got 4 former secretaries of Homeland Security joining us. Tom Ridge and Michael Chertoff, who served under President George W. Bush, and Janet Napolitano and Jay Johnson. They served under President Obama, and I had the pleasure of speaking to all of you last week. All of you had a concern that Americans feel reassured about the integrity of the election. I'll start with you, Secretary Chertoff. How are you feeling tonight about how the election has played out so far?
We should have quit doing that.
I think some of the biggest concerns we had turned out not to have come to fruition. I think there was a big concern about violence that might interfere with people's ability to actually go to the polls on election day, or interference with the voting process. Or even potentially government agents being present in a way that would be intimidating. And the reporting I've seen suggests that other than a few sporadic instances of potential voter intimidation, largely this has gone reasonably smoothly. So it looks, at least in terms of the issue of getting people to the polling places and getting them to vote, we've avoided any serious problems. Now, of course,
guys, I don't know why it keeps going off. It's never done that much before.
And the result, and that could very well be on occasion foreseen some more disruption.
That brings me to Secretary Ridge, who, by the way, hails from the great state of Pennsylvania.
They're getting ready to give it the North Carolina to Biden, guys.
When we talked
and
earlier,
the points he's going to get.
I think you said many, many times, November 3rd,
he's going to get 15 electoral votes
your ballot. It is
North
not
Carolina.
the last day to count your ballot.
So they're just about ready to give it to him.
Are you concerned that we may have a days-long, perhaps longer process in Pennsylvania before us?
Well, I think we're going to have a day or days-long process in several states. I know there are several states that didn't begin processing ballots until a day or two before the November 3rd. In Pennsylvania today didn't begin processing its ballots until 7 a.m. this morning. But frankly, I think we haven't seen, and I follow up on my colleague, Secretary Chertoff, what we've seen today, I think, is a respectful presence of Republicans and Democrats at the polls, acting and respecting one another's expression of preference. I mean, we've had very few reports of fraud, very few reports of intimidation, in spite of all the polling anxiety and some communities fear. I'll give you a perfect example. I decided to vote in person today, showed up at 6:45. By then, there were already 60 people in line. Some people had a MAGA hat on, another couple people had Biden shirts on, but everybody was there, masked.
All right, guys, they gave him Colorado.
Respecting each other's right to cast a vote. I think in considerable measure, it's a good news day for America. We respected each other so far, and I believe
Wyoming is in red.
The outcomes in 4 or 5 states.
Anyway, I need to reload it.
Well, let's ask somebody who knows a little bit about that. Secretary Napolitano, you had a governor's race in Arizona that got stretched out a little longer than you probably would have preferred. What's your advice to folks who are watching, especially if we do have these states where it just comes down to the wire and it takes some time to count?
Yeah, that's right. In 2002, when I ran for governor in Arizona the first time, my opponent didn't concede for 6 days after the election. And we just have to be patient. I actually went to his spot.
Hey, Biden's up 131, boys.
That's some good advice for
Whoop, whoop. What did he take?
I'll use a little bit now, but I think the point is that
What did he just take?
went well. It went well for America. It went well for our democracy. But now
I don't see what he took, but he's the lead, guys. He's in the lead.
the states that are slower to count their votes so that everybody's right to vote is respected.
Secretary Johnson, what's on your mind tonight?
I agree with my colleagues. We're pleased that there weren't the problems we were concerned about at polling places. Andrea noted a few weeks ago the Iranians had attempted to intimidate voters. We do know that the Russians targeted.
He's in the lead, guys. He's still going up.
Different sources of information. Our government does not know what they intend to do about that. But I think all of us are reassured by the strength of our democracy. You know, my son is in the Coast Guard. He's deployed overseas right now.
He might get to Colorado and add it up.
Several thousand miles away. He really wanted to vote. He voted online, and today he got this postcard in the mail to our home in New Jersey. Your ballot has been received by the state of New Jersey. So I feel pretty good about that.
Well, 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, 4 individuals who've served our country. Thank you for your time and for your care. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it's worth noting we've not heard the word chaos much today. A lot of.
Nor have we seen it.
Nor have we seen it, obviously. Let's go to Hallie Jackson right now. Hallie, let's talk a little bit about North Carolina and how the president's campaign is looking at those numbers right now.
Yeah, they're looking at them in, I think, a positive light, Lester. I just got off the phone with one source close to the campaign who's talking about how they believe that North Carolina could be potentially a good thing for them. It is going to be tighter than in 2016. Back in 2016, President Trump won by about 3.5 points in that state. Right now, the returns do show, as we're looking at the numbers here, I'm looking at the percentage, 80% of the vote in. The key thing is something that we have been talking about a couple of times tonight, those counties up there near Wake County by the Raleigh-Durham metro area where the vote still is not in. So those are some of the things that I think the Trump team is looking at, but they are feeling, I think, more positive about North Carolina. That was a state that they've been optimistic about, but not necessarily slam dunk confident the way that they entered the night thinking about as it relates to Florida, for example. So still lots to watch in North Carolina. I will say, as it relates to Florida,
no, Trump is leading in Ohio, guys. Oh my God.
So that they're looking or hoping to do some attempted extrapolation from where they performed well in Florida to see if that is going to extend into some of these other key states like Ohio, like Georgia. Those are the other 2 that I'm hearing a lot about tonight, Lester.
All right. Thank you, Hallie.
Let's go to North Carolina because we are watching to see what happens there. She's in Morgan Radford is in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's one of the places where the suburban vote could be key for Joe Biden. But Morgan, right now, we're waiting for the day of vote, which could break for Trump.
That's right, Savannah. We are at the Mecklenburg County Board of Elections, and this is actually where those physical ballots are now being
They're going to go ahead and give North Carolina to Biden, guys.
How it's working there on the ground, because this is where the action is happening. They're bringing in these large blue bins, and in those bins there are 2 important things. There's one, the physical ballots, and I'll show you where those are being stored and sorted inside here on the right. But there's a second thing that's important. There are little USB chips, and over here to my left, that's where they're being counted. So the precincts are actually have their tabulations that are being counted in a computer that is not set up to the internet. But what's fascinating is that we've been talking all week about how this is a state that the Democrats have been aggressively trying to flip and turn blue. And so what they're focusing on inside those blue bins is to see just how blue those ballots are inside. They're focusing one on the suburbs. Hallie mentioned a few of the key suburbs here. How are those suburban voters going to vote? But secondly, they're looking at unaffiliated voters. We spoke to state party officials from both sides. They said that north of 100,000 new registered voters registered as Democrats, registered as Republicans since 2016. but more than 400,000 new registered voters are unaffiliated. So the question is, what will be inside those boxes tonight?
Yeah, Chuck, what does it look like North Carolina? How much vote is outstanding?
Well, we still have 20% of the vote outstanding. And I remember how I began the night with you guys, and I said, hey, I want to take you back to 2012. And even though this was when Barack Obama narrowly lost North Carolina, there was a lot of blue here on the border of South Carolina. These are some rural African-American counties. Now, let me show you what's going on. I told you this was going to be one of the keys. The good news for Joe Biden, he's blowing the doors off in these suburban counties. We showed you Charlotte. We showed you Raleigh. Remember I told you about Richmond, and I told you about Robeson County here, right there. Told you about this one, African-American county. Look at Trump's number. He's got to be overperforming somewhere, right? If in order to make up that ground. Well, we found where he's overperforming. Number one, this was an important Obama county. These are some rural African-American voters not turning out. That's what this says, not turning out. Maybe they showed up on election day, and we shall see, but there's not a lot of vote left here. So when you're looking to see where the president overperformed in order to make up for these losses, that they're worse in Wake County, worse in Mecklenburg, Wilson, Guilford. He's making it up, it looks like, in some of these border counties in South Carolina in particular. But this has to be a bit distressing that rural African-American vote is not showing up the way it showed up for Barack Obama.
All right, Chuck, thank you. And we want to check in with Texas. It's still too early to call, but we are showing that the president is leading with approximately 74% of the vote in. We'll take a quick break here. More election night coverage when we continue. Decision 2020 on NBC. Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you, whether you're back to school or back
Oh, hope to God he wins it, guys. Come on, Biden.
every morning on Today.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you, whether you're back to school
Excuse me.
or back to work.
Excuse me again. No, Trump took Kansas. God damn it. He's leading in Kansas.
Police
Fuck.
murder of unarmed black men has been an American way of death across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced in Congress, I've begun to wonder if now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
You ready to go to work? I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from
Kamala
Oakland to
Harris
Washington
is
on my
a
6-part
Democrat.
podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
A real close-knit group of nurses who pulled together when their boss needed help battling coronavirus. You're not just any patient, you're their friend.
These folks saved my life. Thank God that there are people who want to run towards a pandemic as opposed to running away from a pandemic.
Introducing the MSNBC Daily, featuring written perspectives by experts you know and trust for a better understanding of the stories that matter most. Check out the MSNBC Daily today.
So, you guys, if you look at Minnesota,
MSNBC.com.
up here, he's going to get 10.
News now. We've got some breaking
Then
news.
Montana is going to get 10 also. Pennsylvania, he's going to grab up 20.
For your streaming world.
Then North Carolina, guys, is going to grab 15. Yeah, not a good lead. It's going to be tight between each other after that, those polls are over. But if Biden can take back Texas, guys, he'll have the lead again.
Watch what they do, not what they say.
All he needs to do is get Texas back, and he's fine.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the trail at the center of this campaign, coronavirus, the story. The battleground blitz as we enter the final stretch of the 2020 race.
From every angle.
If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now?
On the ground.
The wind standing these flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
And in depth.
We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Another thing, guys, if he can get Kansas back,
Welcome back. We got a
it'll
call.
help him too.
Senator
A
Cory
little bit.
Gardner.
I want to see what happened here.
In the Democrats' column in their race to try to regain control.
Hey, Democrat Party got 41 to 38, guys.
Senator and former
See 10 more to win.
candidate Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, thank you for being with us. What do you see this evening that tells you where we're going, Senator?
I see in the next hour or so, you're going to have a lot of focus on the Midwest and the West. Big news to you. Just kidding. I think what you see is what we've known all along, and that is that these critical states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota are going to be where it's at. And Joe Biden had to win these states from the beginning.
If they can take back Ohio, guys, we'll get 16 electoral votes.
There as well. I've been talking
Over
about
here,
North Carolina for
we get
days.
16 there.
And then as we head
And
west,
then
we've
10
got
there if
Arizona and Nevada
he can grab
and
it
many
up.
other places. And I think one of the messages of the night
He needs
is
to grab up New
suburban
Hampshire here. He's
women,
about to have it.
Joe Biden is doing better than a lot of people predicted in the suburbs. I think a lot of that is the president's attitude and how he's divided people, whereas
Pennsylvania
Biden
is
said,
gonna
"Look,
get
I'm going to
20.
be the president for all of America. Red, blue, I don't care. I don't care if you voted for me. If you didn't, I'm going to be your president." Really important in the Midwest.
So you think this thing's moving to the Midwest. How does that blue wall look tonight?
It's looking pretty strong. The fact that we are so competitive in Ohio and doing so well in like the Cincinnati suburbs, the fact that Iowa is still in play, but it's mostly, as you know, those 2 states of Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, it's going to take a while to get their votes counted. They just started today, and I think your viewers know.
All right, guys, got 10 minutes till all these states update.
And Michigan may be coming in sooner. And so it's going to be a lot about that. The fact that we've got 4 Democratic governors in those states that have been having to bear the brunt of.
So here's a couple states that are
leading to
empty,
the
guys.
coronavirus. People know that in our state.
First off,
whereas the
expected around
president
9
has shoved
p.m.
everything down to these governors. You've got a lot of things going on where
And
these states have
so, any
changed
electoral votes
politically
we get,
since
but
2016.
Senator, you mentioned the blue
But
wall.
yeah.
You've said it's going to stay strong, but of course, you would have liked to have some cushion. Are you disappointed that so far, at least, the Sun Belt is not turning into a blue wave as some had hoped it might for Joe Biden, at least one of them?
Well, we always know Florida is not an easy state. You didn't have a Senate race going on in that state. And the point is that from the very beginning, from the moment that Joe Biden announced, he has been focused on these Midwestern states. I know because I debated him, ran against him, did my Blue Wall tour. And one of the reasons that I endorsed him was that I felt that he would see the importance of these states where people felt
all you got to do, guys,
over the
is
last
take
decade.
Texas back,
Donald Trump's policies,
and
whether
he
it's
won't
on
have to
trade,
leave.
whether it's on manufacturing, have left a lot of people behind.
Texas is
and
the only
that's
state
even
that has
before the
38, but
pandemic
Florida
started.
Real quick,
has
Senator
29, so you
Klobuchar,
need to
let's
take
talk
those
about
2
your home
back.
state of Minnesota, because
You gotta try
Republicans
to.
had hoped to make it competitive. They had visited there. It was close in 2016. Hillary Clinton only won it by 1.6%. You feel good about Minnesota going blue for Biden tonight?
I do. We have really a strong statewide campaign. We've all hung together. We've got some key congressional races that I hope at some point you guys will get to. Tina Smith is doing well. I predict she will win. And we've had a huge voter turnout despite some efforts by the Republicans at the last minute to stop votes from being counted. So we feel good about our state.
All right. Thank you, Senator Amy Klobuchar. Appreciate it very much.
All right, Andrea Mitchell is here. You know, that's a part of the country where the president really tried to hammer home this message of law and order and take back the streets and Antifa.
Right.
How did that go? What's the exit polling tell us?
The exit polling is telling us that it did not take with suburban white women. Overwhelmingly, their most important issue was the economy, and more than half believe that Black Lives Matter is a good thing, had a positive attitude toward Black Lives Matter. Nearly half believe that there is racial inequality in the justice system. So that whole law and order appeal after the demonstrations and the protests, some of which did turn violent, did not take hold in that appeal to suburban white women voters.
All right, Andrea, thanks very much. We've got some Senate calls, or at least some characterizations to show you. South Carolina, this is Lindsey Graham, who's faced an onslaught of money from the Harrison camp, but too early to call. Graham leads right now there.
All right, let's go to Nebraska, where NBC projects Ben Sasse, the incumbent, is headed back to Congress rather handily. We'll also keep an eye on that one congressional district in Nebraska that often flips, and we'll see how that is going in a few moments.
We'll take a break here. Be back with more Decision 2020 election night coverage after this.
You ready to go to work?
I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job to ask the tough questions, left and right.
Nature Made knows quality vitamins. We launched Nourish because you know you. No one's needs are the same. Take the Nourish quiz and get a vitamin regimen as individual as you are. Science just got personal.
And help you make sense of it all.
You ready to go to work?
I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the trail. The center of this campaign, coronavirus, the story. The battleground blitz as we enter the final stretch of the 2020 race.
From every angle.
If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now?
On the ground.
The wind standing these flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
And in depth.
We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
Haven't updated yet, guys.
With Lester Holt.
Good morning, welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with
4
you.
updates again.
Whether you're back to school
What do you guys think? We're excited.
or back to
God
work,
damn it.
we're keeping you safe.
I'll be back.
Every morning on Today.
Police murder of unarmed black men has been an American way of death across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced,
No,
to
damn,
Congress,
Donald
I
Trump
think
took the Montana.
If now
lead.
is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
Good morning, welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you. Whether you're back to school
What do you guys think? We're excited.
or back to work, we're keeping you safe.
I'll be back.
Every morning on Today.
Donald Trump leading in Florida right now. A lot of focus there has been and is now on Latino voters. And Andrea Mitchell has some insight on that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Latino vote has been shifting in 2012, 2016, going away from the Republicans, where those folks had long been, towards Democrats. It has shifted back by 10 points. And Donald Trump is getting in the exit polls 45% of the Latino vote in Florida. We're talking now about Florida. We're talking about Cuban Americans, Venezuelan Americans. And that really is the foreign policy of this administration. Pompeo, Secretary Pompeo, been hammering that home. The president has been really disciplined in his message on Joe Biden being a socialist, a false claim, but that really has borne fruit. They were, as we've been pointing out in Miami-Dade in particular, slow to canvass, and it was because of COVID. But that caution on COVID has cost Joe Biden a lot in Florida.
All right, let's pick up on that with Chuck Todd, who was at the Met.
I am. I'm just looking here at North Carolina for everybody here. As you can see, that the Biden lead is down to just 29,000, 84% in. And as you can see, we're still waiting for a lot more of our yellow, and yellow is same-day vote. And again, I will go back to the same area. Basically, The issue is going to be there is some vote in
Fix
these
your
big
pillow.
counties still. There's 17% of vote
Fix your
left in
pillow.
Wake. Guilford, there's 18%. So there's some.
Biden
voting
still
counties
has
where
lead,
there's votes out.
131 to
If
92.
you look here, there's still, this is going to be a Trump county. That's going to be a Trump county. So this still looks like a nail biter in North Carolina, but I understand why the Trump people feel good.
All right, Chuck, thanks very much. We'll be back with poll closings in 4 more states at the top of the hour, including battlegrounds Iowa and Nevada. But first, you're watching Decision 2020.
We fit a lot of life into our Subaru.
All right, 2 minutes, guys, and updates on certain states.
Over the years, we trusted it to carry
No!
the things that were most important to
Donald
us.
Trump took the lead in Pennsylvania, guys. Oh my God.
We always knew we had a lot of life ahead of us. That's why we chose a car we knew would be there for us.
Fuck.
Welcome to the Subaru Forester.
Get 0% APR financing for 63 months on select new 2020 models now through November 30th.
It's insane how that whole mattress fits in that small little box. At one point, we actually went into a traditional mattress store, jumped from bed to bed, laying on it for 30 seconds. We realized that we could just buy one on the internet and get a trial period, and if we didn't like it, we didn't have to worry about it. We could just send it back.
Okay, got Pennsylvania back, guys.
So far, you spend a third of your life
Thank
on
God.
this thing. Why not make sure that you're getting what you want, what's best for you?
You ready to go to work?
I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank God he got Pennsylvania back. He would have lost the lead completely after a couple
Needed
minutes.
help battling coronavirus. You're not just getting patient. You're their friend. These folks saved my life. Thank God that there are people who want to run towards a pandemic as opposed to running away from a pandemic.
Introducing the MSNBC Daily, featuring written perspectives by experts you know and trust for a better understanding of the stories that matter most. Check out the MSNBC Daily today at msnbc.com.
No, damn Donald Trump took the damn state back again. God damn it.
NBC News now has got some breaking news.
Are people there concerned this could have on the election?
It's news made for your streaming world.
Fucking bullshit. This ain't good. Guys, it's gonna be a Trump lead
Do not what they say.
because Biden's only got 3 states and they're not high enough to pass it.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the trail at the center of this campaign, coronavirus, the story. The battleground blitz as we enter the final stretch of the 2020 race from every angle.
Well, that's a
You say
change.
You're talking to Joe Biden and President Trump. What would you want to
It
say
all
about
changes
that?
in case.
The wind standing
Hey guys, he went to 98.
expected to last another 24 hours.
And in depth. We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
About a minute before 10 o'clock here in the east, and we've got Iowa, Montana, Nevada, and Utah about to see their polls close in under 50 seconds. We'll have some characterizations for you in a minute, but here's where we stand right now.
Okay, Florida, too close to call, but the president is leading 93% of the vote in there. In Texas, we are characterizing it as a Trump lead, though it is too early to call at this hour.
New Hampshire, too early. Biden is leading.
Come on, Biden, Joe Biden, come on.
It is too early.
I'm gonna take this
to make
window,
the
guys.
call. Ohio also too early.
Georgia, lots to watch there. Too early to call. Votes are still coming in there. In Virginia, former battleground Vice President Biden is leading, but it is too early to make an official call there. And in Wisconsin, it is far too early to
Say
call.
the Senate, guys.
They
Let's
have
look.
a lot of votes to count there.
Oh shit.
And
41-39. That's
Pennsylvania
not
is
good.
too early to call. Minnesota, too early. The same story in Maine.
He's got
And
Minnesota.
Arizona, which I don't think we've seen any vote come out of Arizona.
Yeah, there's Maine and Arizona, which the polls closed about an hour ago. 85% of the voting is by mail in Arizona, and they are allowed to tabulate and count well before Election Day. But
Damn it, President Trump's got Utah. This is not a good deal, guys. This is bad.
Kansas, too early to call, but as expected, the president is leading. Now we've got some calls to make here at 10 o'clock. Iowa.
Iowa, first off, is too early. Nevada, too early.
Let's see what's going on in Montana. Not only do they have, of course, the presidential race, but
Ah.
a competitive governor's race. Too early to call. Polls just closing there, and in Utah as well. Too early to call.
Let's look at the road to 270, the map, and show you where things break down right now. And
Okay,
right
it's
now,
still the same.
Biden with 89 electoral votes, Trump 72 on the road to 270.
Everybody kind of holding on to the states they were expected to hold on to. We haven't had any.
All right, guys. Joe Biden has Arizona, which means
the Georgia Senate
he's
race.
going to
There's
get 11
actually two
electoral
Senate
votes.
races, and this one will advance to a runoff. Raphael Warnock there, the Democrat, having sufficient votes. We're projecting to get
North
to that
Carolina's going to be a
runoff,
good one because we're going
which
to
will
get
be
15.
held in early January. Chuck.
Right, and the question is going to be which one of Loeffler or Collins joins Warnock in there. By the way, a little nugget on Virginia that Mark
It's gonna be a
Murray,
tight squeeze, guys.
just learned. Virginia is the exact opposite. They've been only doing election day vote. They're going to count their early vote starting at 11 p.m. So if you're wondering what's going on with Virginia, that will tell you about Virginia. Texas, you noted why is Trump ahead? Well, I can give you one. I can get you one reason why he is. I'm going to take you to those Trump 2018 counties. These were counties that both Beto O'Rourke in that Senate race against Ted Cruz, where he made us think maybe Texas is a battleground state. I want to show you around the Austin media market here. Austin, Travis County is a huge, big Democratic center. So these two adjacent counties here, Beto won them both. But I want to take you to Hayes.
It's not
here,
good, guys.
number
This is
Biden's
not
won
a
it by
good
12.
idea.
Beto won it by 16. Again,
This is
Beto O'Rourke
not good.
lost the state. But the point is, and this was something Casey Hunt was learning from her sources, that there appears to be that
We're only
Biden,
getting small
while
amounts
doing
of
pretty
flu.
well, is underperforming, particularly in the Austin media
We're in
market.
t-
And this
we're in
shows you
trouble
right
here.
here. It's another reason why we classified Trump as leading. And by the way, speaking of leading, I want to quickly, one place we want to take you is Ohio, and we've been showing you, remember Biden had the early lead. Well, the Republican vote is starting to come in. As you can see, the county map's getting redder, and the president now has a lead of about 100,000. You can see what we're seeing here, the early absentee. So right now we have a lot more election day vote. There's still some early vote to count. So we've got a long way to go.
No, don't try. Oh my God, we're going to lose,
50-50
guys.
Split the early vote, which we know favors Biden, the election day vote, which favors Trump. So
Don't has
for our
Iowa.
orange and yellow lines here to see if they become 50-50. But the yellow, anytime you see yellow,
So
that's
far.
usually a pretty good sign for President Trump.
Kristen Welker now, she is at Biden headquarters. How are they feeling about the numbers and what we're seeing here?
Well, Lester, with Florida looking increasingly out of reach, of course, they are focused on North Carolina and on Georgia. One campaign official acknowledging that both of those states look very close. But this official telling me we still feel good. We still feel like we have a shot there. So they are focused on those two states. And then, of course, the Midwest, their blue wall. That is where they think that ultimately Vice President Biden will prevail. They are very interested in what they're seeing in Ohio. I've been talking to a number of officials in and out of the campaign, including to Democrats in Ohio, with one telling me that the turnout in some of those Democratic strongholds has been quite strong. And then in some of the swing counties, it looks like Biden is outperforming expectations. Why is that significant? Even if Biden doesn't carry Ohio, they believe it could have implications for the all-important battleground state of Pennsylvania. And that is really where we began this discussion tonight. Why has Biden spent so much time in Pennsylvania over the past several weeks throughout the course of this campaign? Because ultimately it could be make or break for Joe Biden with its electoral votes. That's why he was there today in Scranton and in Philadelphia, urging voters to turn out. Of course, back in 2016, the Obama coalition underperformed, and that's why Hillary Clinton fell short there. So he is trying to win that state back, and without Pennsylvania, very difficult for President Trump to return to the White House. So it is a critical state for him as well.
Right.
All right, Kristen, thank you. And that brings us to Jason Miller, Senior Advisor to the Trump campaign. Jason, it's great to have you with us. So far, it looks like the president is performing well in the states he has to win. He does have to contend with the so-called blue wall, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. How are you feeling about that?
Savannah, good evening. Feeling very, very good. I think Florida is a state that the
Man,
president
fuck
is definitely
you.
going to carry.
You Trump campaign senior advisor, you can go fuck yourself.
North Carolina, I think we're going to win by somewhere between 50 and 70,000 votes.
No, he took. Oh my God.
Counties in Indiana, the way that we're performing with small towns that are about 5,000 or less people, some of that can be extrapolated out and compared to, say, Wisconsin, Michigan. Look at some of the rural areas. You look at Kent County in Michigan, for example, increasing. So states where we have, or excuse me, counties where we have 75% or more of the vote in so far, we're increasing our margins in Michigan by between 6 and 7%. And I think that one of the big surprises, the two big surprises I think so far. Number one, I think President Trump is going to win Minnesota tonight. You look at the way the data.
No, he will not.
We feel very good about that state. That's going to be a big shock.
All right, guys. Joe Biden is in the lead with.
But the biggest story of the night
on Montana. He'll get 3 electoral votes if it's still blue.
Will be the big difference of him being reelected tonight.
I know everything seems positive, but tell me the kind of thing that you started this evening wringing your hands over that still sits out there that you worry about.
Well, fundamentally, keep in mind that Democrats knew that they were going to have this early vote, the absentee votes. And so we actually saw a lot of those early votes the same way that the Democrats did. What we thought, though, was different is that we would have this red wave, folks who would actually...
All right, guys, Joe Biden has Iowa.
The Democrats essentially had already cannibalized.
And he'll get 6 electoral votes. He now is leading in Iowa.
The people who wanted to vote against President Trump basically did that right at the beginning.
Come on, Joe Biden got to get back North Carolina.
So we're kind of concerned a little bit about that, but it looks like our models, our predictions for the turnout are looking to be right on track. And Democrats basically shot their wad in the early vote. They just don't have it right now, and that's the difference in the enthusiasm factor. Our folks are going to show up on
no, Republican Party 41 to 40. Fuck.
I think that we will win by between 50 and 70,000 votes. So that's where we're tracking. All of the counties that are outstanding are counties that the president won in 2016. And so if you, again, we're past the polling aspect. I think one of the stories for tonight is that polling is broken. Polling is like Humpty Dumpty. It's smashed into 1,000 pieces. But when you look at the actual votes that are in our modeling for where we're going, we're going to win North Carolina.
Jason Miller, thank you.
Bullshit!
All right, let's turn to Chuck real quick. Polling is broken. You just heard it from Jason Miller. He said it's like Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall.
Pray to God that Joe Biden wins today.
I got my issues with some state polling, that's for sure. I mean, I think there is definitely an issue in that there's just no quality control with a lot of some of these pollsters you've never heard of and things like this. There's no doubt. We're finally starting to get some Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, see, you wanted to hear some Arizona? By the way, they did the big dump. I told you that's what they do. We went from 0 to 69%, okay? Just to give you an estimate here, as you see, there's a significant chunk. They're doing what they said they'd do. They said they'd be able to handle both their early vote and some of their same-day vote. They'd be processing it together. And as you can see, we got a big chunk of it already out. And Biden has a good lead here.
Biden needs to take back Pennsylvania and North Carolina.
And because Maricopa, one instance in the last decade where some statewide candidate lost Maricopa County, which is home of Phoenix, arguably the largest suburb in America, and somehow won statewide, but that person lost about like 1,000 votes. So as you see here, a 10-point lead right now in Maricopa with 77% in. And just so you can see, Donald Trump carried Maricopa. Mitt Romney carried Maricopa. John McCain carried Maricopa. Obviously, he was an Arizona native. So, look.
How much did Maricopa County win?
77%. Okay. So, this is a good chunk. This is a big lead. Look, they needed something in the Sun Belt right now. I know the Biden folks are feeling a bit antsy. North Carolina's making them antsy. Georgia, we still got a lot of vote for that to come in. We know Florida appears to be gone. I know we haven't officially called that yet. So, early on right now, and it's a lot of vote in, Arizona looks like it may actually make pollsters feel better.
Let's turn to Casey on that. I am from Arizona, so I know that, yes, while Maricopa County and Pima County are important, so are all the other counties, and they're largely red counties. What are you hearing, Casey?
Well, Savannah, my sources are saying that they expect, and Chuck touched on this, to have a little bit of a roller coaster here in terms of counting. That it will look good initially for Joe Biden, that then we may see them start to count some votes that may turn this toward Trump, and then there could be another batch that'll swing us back again. So my sources are urging patience on that front. But I will also say that there does seem to be a difference between how Mark Kelly, who's the Senate candidate, Republican and Democratic sources are expecting that Kelly the Hispanic vote in Arizona. We obviously have talked a lot about the unique qualities of the Cuban American community, the Venezuelan American community in Miami-Dade. Remember, of course, we've talked at length.
Sorry guys, I don't know what went on
that
with
really swung for President Trump. But Democrats think that that swing was big enough. They're nervous that it could replicate itself with other Hispanic communities. They've seen a little bit of it in Texas, and they're concerned about it in Arizona in the context of the presidential race. So I'm watching to see in Arizona if we actually get a split result here, if we see a Democrat win the Senate seat and potentially see President Trump carry the state at the presidential level. Savannah.
All right, well, they have spent a lot of time, the president's campaign has spent a lot of time in Arizona over the years. We've got a new call to tell you about. It is too early to call in Ohio, but we are characterizing it a bit more, saying that the president is leading. Let's go to David Plouffe and Mike Murphy, two strategists, one Democrat, one Republican. So we've got the whole campaign covered here, although I will say Mike Murphy, Republican, who does not support Donald Trump. Mike, what are you seeing? What is giving you pause tonight?
Well, I think the Democrats wanted a quick knockout in the Sun Belt, particularly in Florida, perhaps in North Carolina or Georgia. We have to wait on North Carolina or Georgia. But Florida's interesting. Even though it looks like Donald Trump is going to be president for life of Miami-Dade County, which is what bailed him out in Florida, Biden did very well switching some swing counties there, which is a good sign, I think.
All right, guys. So far, it's mixed allocation here,
which is a tight race,
and
with Biden in the hunt,
Biden can get that state, he can get 4.
Sign for Michigan, Wisconsin, and Western Pennsylvania. There's no Miami-Dade County in Michigan, Wisconsin, or Western Pennsylvania.
More narrow, or appear to be more narrow for Biden.
Well, I think the Biden campaign is focused like a laser.
Okay, guys, I don't know what's going on with my stream. That's the second time it's cut me off.
Look, North Carolina is going to be very close. I think you're going to see a lot of votes still coming in the Atlanta area. That's going to make Georgia close. Arizona, I imagine that will tighten, but the 70% that's in looks good for Biden. So I think Arizona is crucial, obviously. And then I agree with Mike. I look at Ohio. It would be nice to win it, but that was a long shot. What does it tell you about Western Pennsylvania, about parts of Michigan and Wisconsin? And so, yes, this is not going to be an early night. It's not going to be an electoral college landslide. But until you show me numbers that suggest that Donald Trump now is the favorite in Arizona and Pennsylvania, I think
they're tied, guys.
The best route to 270.
Democratic Party, guys, is coming back up for the lead, 74 to 93. They're bringing themselves back up.
And when we really unpack the precincts, we'll get a sense of that.
All right, David and Mike, gentlemen, thanks very much. Before we pause for a quick break, an update from North Carolina's governor's race. And the incumbent, Cooper, will win. Will continue to be governor.
All right, and in New Mexico, we've got Joe Biden prevailing.
Woo! Joe Biden wins it, guys, for the New Mexico.
Votes. We're back right after this.
94 to 72, guys.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you. Whether you're back to school or back to work, we're keeping you safe.
I love being back.
Every morning on Today.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall,
come on, Biden, win it.
Whether you're back to school or back to work, we're keeping you safe.
I love being back.
Every morning on Today.
God damn it.
Police murder of unarmed black men has been an American way of
Stop going off, god damn it!
Centuries. After seeing the most
Fucking
comprehensive
pissing me
police
off.
reform bill ever introduced in Congress, I've begun to wonder if now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
You ready to go to work?
I'm so ready to go to work. She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I
Stop going up, god damn it!
Washington, on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
A real close-knit group of nurses who pulled together when their boss needed help battling coronavirus. You're not just any patient, you're their friend.
These folks saved my life. Thank God that there are people who want to run towards a pandemic as opposed to running away from a pandemic.
Man, what the fuck? Let's quit doing that. Only if Joe Biden can get Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Texas back, he'll have a full lead.
Daily today at MSNBC.com.
He's still in the lead though.
You're watching
no matter what.
NBC News Now. We've got some breaking news.
Are people there concerned about what impact this could have on the election?
It's news made for...
Oh my god! Fix your pillow! Oh guys, I don't know what's going on with the damn fucking bullshit.
The AP has Ohio now with 80% reporting. It looks like President Trump has a lead of 5 percentage points.
Oh, it's showing on TV now, guys.
Swung in the president's direction.
131 to 92.
But out west further, Arizona, 71% now has been totaled, and Joe Biden ahead by 9 points. If Biden were to take something like in Arizona early, could he wrap this up tonight? Or at this point, is it looking like we are going to have to wait quite a while?
Well, I think we're probably still in the waiting game. Arizona is interesting because they're the type of state that actually has a lot of experience doing this, and they actually wait an hour after the polls close to report their advance vote. That's both mail-in voting and early in-person voting. Most of their vote comes from Maricopa County. That's the area around Phoenix, and they're pretty good at it. That's where most of the population in the state is, and so that's why we're seeing as soon as their polls close.
Now they're showing the right score,
Biden
guys.
wins Arizona, I mean, it puts less pressure on him to win Pennsylvania
On
or
this
take
general,
off
right?
another state. Specifically, we were just talking about Ohio. Again, Ohio is not a state that is necessarily within the Biden. It was not actually in their electoral map of most likely path to victory. But I think that the reason why this is going to be particularly interesting and particularly different is if everything kind of falls into place the way that it might in terms of how these campaigns have spent their money in campaign, that is Trump winning Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, they're holding on to those 2016 states, then it does come down to Pennsylvania. And so if you're able to pick off Arizona, if you're Joe Biden, that helps in that regard. But it doesn't exactly make up the difference, and so that's why, you know, again, Pennsylvania is the reason we keep talking about it, because they're going to count their votes really slow, and they don't seem to have as much eagerness to kind of expedite the process as much as we've seen in some of these other states that are adapting, and there's a number of reasons for that, some of which are litigious. So, but again, it's really important to be patient. I don't think there's anything right now indicating that something magically can happen where we're going to know a result before, certainly not before the clock hits midnight.
Right, especially when Philadelphia just kind of clocked out and said, okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, now let me ask you, what does Congress tell us, if anything? You know, half of the squad has now been reelected. Ilhan Omar, AOC have both been reelected. But then I'm wondering on the opposite side, is it cause to be more hopeful in the Trump camp, to see people like Lindsey Graham being able to be called the winner so early in the evening, And I wonder, you know, in those
Oh
times,
shit, they're tied,
was it
guys.
a media mirage? You know, the media loves anything that has drama to it. And could there be an upset? There's a cliffhanger. And Lindsey Graham, he's an institution there. You know, does this show that maybe there is a little more stability in Trump world than some gave him credit for?
Well, I think it shows that there's not going to be a huge Democratic wave when it comes to some of these. I mean, on the absolute dream scenario for Democrats in the Senate is, yes, they pick off somebody like a Lindsey Graham. Right now, I'm pretty sure, and you can fact check me if this isn't the case, but John Hickenlooper is the only one that we declaratively have said has flipped a Senate seat from red to blue out in Colorado. And so I think it does say that, you know, we can still have a quote-unquote Democratic wave in some form or fashion, but it's not going to be certainly a tsunami, not certainly the levels that we saw just 2 years ago in the midterms. And if you're the Biden campaign or if you're Donald Trump, you know, looking at what's another big state that has a big Senate and a big presidential race, there's a number of them, but we were talking about Texas. How many people there are voting for John Cornyn and Joe Biden? What do those voters exist? And if so, what kind of impact do they have? And so, you know, there's a lot of tea leaves that are being read right now, and some of them rightfully so. I think if you're part of the Trump campaign, you're cautiously optimistic internally, maybe outwardly. We've seen a lot of jubilation on social media about polls that have been wrong in Florida so far, because we do have quite a bit of that vote in right now. But again, you know, I'd avoid any kind of sweeping generalizations other than the fact that it's going to be a long night.
So if I were to look through your eyes to see this tonight, what, other than let's take Pennsylvania off the table, what is the biggest race that you're watching to help you understand where we are and maybe where we're going?
Well, you know, we still have the three southeastern states, and that is going into tonight. Those were the three that we all had our eyes on, or at least I did. You know, Florida, we talked about that so much. Georgia and North Carolina. The reason being, again, those are part of the 2016 Trump map. If one of them flipped, that would have been a huge sign. If none of them flipped, then we're back kind of to square one. Then we, you know, that would have kind of been indicator for the Biden campaign. It's going to be a good night, or maybe even just icing on the cake. Right now, because we do have a large percentage of the vote in Ohio, I think the most interesting states for the next few hours to be looking at, in addition to those, I guess, are Arizona and Ohio, because those are two states that, again, they're on that battleground map, which is a little bit bigger than we're used to necessarily talking about, and they do have large percentages of the voting. Now, just because you have a large percentage of the voting doesn't mean you can call a race. If it's really tight, you can have 99% of the voting and still not be able to call it. So it's important that we not confuse those two. But if we're kind of looking at over the next couple hours, we do have, you know, most of the states that we're really looking at have polls have closed. And so it's really just about getting those numbers in and then keeping in mind where those numbers are coming from, which honestly is not always clear, whether it's that early voting or whether it's in-person voting. That makes such a big
43-41 Senate, guys.
And those two states you just mentioned, Ohio on track right
We're
now,
getting close.
80% reporting to stick with President Trump. We'll see. And then also Arizona on track to deviate this year, perhaps 72% reporting, and Joe Biden ahead by 9 points. But as this changes moment to moment, we're keeping everybody updated. Senior Politics Editor Andrew Rafferty, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again in just a little bit. We continue also to check in with our network of local stations across the country. 60 stations in 42 markets. They experience this very differently, and I think it's really valuable to help us experience that collectively. It includes the Phoenix area, Arizona. KNXV reports that people are still waiting in line in some parts of Mesa.
I'm Megan Thompson in Mesa, Arizona, where we are monitoring the situations out at polling locations and what the experience has been like for voters. Here in Mesa, this is the convention center. We've really seen lines fluctuate throughout the day. The wait time anywhere between 15 minutes to 1 hour. But everyone we've talked to coming out of the voting center has told us they've had a mostly pleasant experience. The biggest thing was waiting in line, but everything went relatively smoothly here. They're just dedicated to taking the time out here tonight to cast their vote in this election. We'll continue to monitor the situation here in Mesa, Arizona.
And up north, President Trump is in the lead right now in Michigan, but it's not the presidential race that got the attention of people in the Wolverine state. They had another one they were looking at really closely. Joining us from Detroit, Michigan is Rudy Harper with our sister station. Close Senate race in that state tonight. Rudy, Republican businessman John James, he is challenging the incumbent Democrat Gary Peters in what's become the most expensive Senate race in Michigan's history. If you could just catch us up on the stakes of that race.
Yeah, hey Chance, good evening to you and thanks for having us. Yeah, both these candidates say everything's at stake today. On the ballot for these voters,
Well, rats, it looks like the live transmission seized up right there. But again, Gary Peters, okay, I think we have Rudy back. Rudy, I hope you're there. Back at you.
Yep, I'm here, Chance. Can you hear me? Yeah, sorry, you know, election day, we're...
It just happens sometimes, guys. It is election night, and our network of stations is broad. We wanted to go to WXYZ in Detroit because, again, Michigan, it went last time in favor of Donald Trump instead of Hillary Clinton, but the margin was this slim. This year, that could happen again. We'll see. If I'm checking the live results, and this changes every millisecond here, Michigan right now, the AP has 36% reporting. Donald Trump up by 12 points at this moment. But again, the Senate race also could help decide the power balance right now. Gary Peters, he's the incumbent, he's a Democrat, but he was given a run for his money by the Republican. We're going to keep checking in with all of our reporters locally and nationally, and I think we have our campaign reporters right after this quick break. Newsy 2020, special coverage continues right after this.
Some companies still have HR stuck between employees and their data, entering data, changing data, more and more sensitive personal data. And it doesn't just drag HR down, it drags the entire business down with inefficiency, errors, and waste. It's ridiculous. With Paycom, employees enter and manage their
Guys,
own
if it's
data
gonna
in a
last
single,
all the way
easy
to
user
midnight, I'm not
Visit
gonna live stream that long.
Paycom.com and schedule your demo
I'm just watching
today.
until Biden wins, but if it's gonna be till midnight, I'm not gonna live stream for that long. I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter and Instagram.
That just got weird? Yes. Adeline Bowman will never age. Adeline, how is this possible?
I don't know how.
You've had a meltdown.
Really? I forgot that hanging out with regular people for this such an enthralling experience.
Now, let's get to our campaign reporters tonight on Newsy 2020. Willie James Inman here in Washington, right near the White House where the president is, and Alex Miller in Wilmington, Delaware, right near where campaign headquarters are for Joe Biden. Willie, I'm just going to come to you first. Right now, battleground states, if we look at 9 battlegrounds, President Trump, as of this moment, according to the AP, is ahead in 7 of those 9. He's having a better night at this time, and it's 10:30 Eastern, than maybe even internally they expected.
Yeah, and that's in fact the case.
No, 108.
Twitter just now, Jason Miller, senior campaign advisor, just tweeted simply, "It's happening," with a mind
Got Montana
emoji. They say that they have the ground game all along for this 2020 election, getting folks out to vote, especially in states like Florida, a key battleground state that the president wants to repeat his success in 2016. That's the quickest and easiest way to victory for the president and for his campaign, is to repeat that 2016 map with states like Florida, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin as well. But they've also made a play for states like Nevada, also Minnesota as well, with the margin of victory there for, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in 2016, very close defeating President Trump. But he thinks he has some inroads there with the white working class voters. He thinks he has some insight there in terms of reaching out to people who work in the manufacturing industry and in the energy industry, I should say. So the president's campaign, they seem to be happy about this news so far tonight, and they're hoping for a win tonight on election night, Chance.
Alex Miller, what's going on in Biden world?
Yeah, I think that it's important to differentiate between the different battleground states and how much they have tabulated, how much of the absentee mail-in vote is in, and how much is election day results. Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, those states are able to tabulate their results very quickly, and that is something that the Biden campaign knew ahead of time, and they were hoping that they would do well in those states to get them out to an early lead. Of course, none of those battleground states have officially been projected yet, though Florida has the entirety of their vote is in. But when you look at states like Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, they
election
have not
results in
tabulated
2016.
all of their mail-in and election day votes. When I spoke with a congresswoman yesterday from Pennsylvania, we were talking about counting these mail-in votes. And she said her county is going to tabulate those first, but there were other areas of Pennsylvania that were not planning to tabulate their mail-in ballots until after they tabulated their election day ballots. So that changes the balance of things, and that changes the momentum for where we feel the state is going to lean. Similarly, that is what's happening in Michigan. I was just texting with a congressman who said as much, that they're not concerned specifically about the mail-in vote right now in Michigan because it simply has not been tabulated as quickly as the election day vote. So of course the Biden campaign is likely concerned right now looking at the numbers, and especially in the Southeast. But when you look at the Midwest, this is really where they were paying attention to in the first place. Michigan and Pennsylvania have already said they're not getting their results in tonight. And so at least that gives them a little bit more hope in the coming hours, the coming days, possibly, if they can pick up. Look, if they lose Wisconsin, they're in big trouble. But they also are looking at
all right, guys, California
right now in Arizona, and so that could offset some of the losses
is
that they were
55
hoping,
points.
Not to be
Well, let's
losses,
hope Joe Biden gets 55 points.
But can I ask you, you said there's still a little bit of hope, and actually I want to say in the Midwest, my home state, Missouri, it just went for President Trump.
Hawaii.
We can now call Missouri in the category.
Hawaii
President
is
Trump's
3 and
electoral
Alaska
votes.
is 3.
But it's really the upper Midwest that matters. And Alex, if I could just stick with what you were saying, that there is still hope in, the Biden orbit for this. I'm wondering, when you talk with a congressman from Michigan and they talk about, well, there are all these complexities. That's true. And every politician knows how to say that stuff. I'm wondering, have you gotten a sense of how much of that is puffery and how much of it is real? Because, people were saying that, honestly, 4 years ago up until the very last moment.
Yeah. I'm sure it's somewhat of a mix, right? Of course, that a lot of these members of Congress, Joe Biden surrogates, Joe Biden supporters, are extremely nervous, and like we were talking about earlier today about them being cautiously optimistic. So I'm sure that plays into it a little bit. But you have to look at the laws in these states, which is Something that I spoke with a number of surrogates and campaign officials about over the course of the last few days is, how are you going to feel if President Trump comes out and declares victory early on in the night? And, basically they said,
You better not declare
we're not
victory,
concerned about
dude.
this because the laws or the votes are the votes. And so whatever the count ends up being is what it will be, whatever order it comes in. And I mean, you have to think about these laws in Michigan and Michigan and Pennsylvania rather versus in Florida. Florida, they were able to start tabulating right away so that once the polls closed, they were able to give those projections much sooner. Michigan and Wisconsin are not the same. Now, that's not to say that President Trump might not come away with it, but you just have to think about the absentee ballots, the mail-in ballots in Michigan and Pennsylvania. Those were leaning heavily towards registered Democratic voters, and if those haven't been counted yet, you might see the numbers start to shift a little bit. Now, that's not to say that President Trump certainly cannot walk away with it. He won both of those states in 2016, so Democrats are rightly concerned and nervous about it. But it doesn't.
So guys, he's at 131.
Earlier tabulations just from election day don't necessarily.
Oh my God! Really, this is gonna start that shit.
I mean, the vote specifically in Pennsylvania is about 50% mail-in ballots.
I'm about tired of this goddamn piece of shit. Power America.
On election day voting, and so if you're really only considering part of that, you're not getting the entire picture.
If you guys didn't see Donald Trump's deal go up, it was 108. That's where he's at now.
Only calculated a fraction of their mail-in ballots today. They've already said they're not going to finish tonight. And when I was talking to Congresswoman Madeleine Dean yesterday, I visited her in her suburban Philadelphia district. She said that the issue in 2016 wasn't that her district and county wasn't supportive of Hillary Clinton. She won the district overwhelmingly. It's that people stayed home. And so she said it's going to be about turnout, and that if more people in her district can actually turn out to vote, the rest of the registered Democrats turn out to vote, they could turn Pennsylvania just in that county alone because the margin that President Trump won by in 2016 was so slim.
Alex, I think those 36 caveats you just laid out are good reminders for all of us to not jump too far ahead too soon. But Willie, I'm looking at the latest count right here. Joe Biden, 131 electoral votes. President Trump, 108 electoral votes. And we know that going into this, he issued all these warnings. He said that there are going to be problems, there could be fraud, all of this. But as we've gotten through the day more, he's saying we're looking great all over the country, reading his latest tweet here. We are going to hear from him tonight. Any sense of what we might hear from him? Because again, we did hear early on these warnings about.
So look here, guys. I'm going to say it again.
But that
Minnesota, Biden get 10 points.
Again, it's trending more.
He'll get 6 points in Iowa. He'll get 3 points in Montana.
From it, what it
He'll
looks
get 11
like,
points in Arizona.
The president is having a great night, but as
He'll
Alex
get
laid
in New
out
Hampshire.
perfectly, we still have to wait for these results in key states, and we
He'll
could
get 4
potentially
points.
hear from the president tonight. Kellyanne Conway, former advisor to the
So
president,
he should
told
still have
ABC
the lead
News
either way.
That is in fact the case, that he could address the nation in some type of
Oh,
capacity from the
36,
East Room of
29
the
on
White
that.
House. We know that he has hundreds of supporters gathered
Just
in
he's
the White
just,
House,
I
perhaps
believe.
for a small gathering of sorts.
By
Hundreds
inches.
of people, of course, isn't a small gathering, but the president is perhaps looking for a good night tonight. He's looking for good news. He was talking to supporters and campaign staffers earlier today. He predicted a great night for himself and for his campaign, but clearly, Chance, we have to wait for these vote totals to come in. We have to wait for those mail-in and absentee ballots to be counted across the country. But if he gets those key states, Florida being one of them, North Carolina picks up Arizona, keeps it in his column, and it looks good for him in other states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. That could be a good night for the president. But again, we could be waiting days for those results in those key states, Chance.
Which is probably an apt time for the reminder that we know here at Newsy, voters will be the ones who decide who wins. And until somebody hits 270, there is no winner just yet, no matter what either candidate says. And we're going to bring you the facts and the numbers as we have them, okay? Alex Miller in Delaware tonight, Billy James Inman in Washington. Thank you both. We'll talk to you very soon. But for now, let's send it up to Chicago, Illinois.
All right, thank you, Chance. Well, a lot is changing right now in the race to 270. So I want to bring in Andrew Rafferty right now and give you guys another update just to echo what Chance was saying. Joe Biden has 131 electoral votes. President Trump 108 right now. So Andrew, we also saw that President Trump is ahead in a few key states like Texas, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. So if you're in Biden's camp right now, are you feeling a little bit nervous? Is it too early to feel nervous at all?
I think you're definitely feeling nervous because not any of the really early signs that you were hoping for in your best case scenario have happened. And it looks like you're down in some of these places where you spent a lot of time, you spent a lot of money. I think the big thing, now none of those were necessarily on the Biden needs to win path to victory map. But I think in the Florida vote specifically, there are probably some alarm bells in terms of Hispanic voters. We have some data that comes in of the survey of voters
Fuck y'all
who
dislikers.
they voted for, and of course because this has been such a weird election and how people have voted, the Associated Press contacts a number of people, and one of the key groups, obviously in Florida, is Hispanics, and those numbers show a pretty significant margin. Now that's not to say I think Biden will still win Hispanic voters in Florida, even if he does lose the state. But if Trump, again, it's about those margins, and if President Trump is able to cut into those like it looks like this preliminary data shows, that could potentially translate to some other states out west, primarily Nevada. Now, the other, obviously, Hispanic heavy state is Arizona, and so we'll see. Right now, Maricopa County, which is the largest area in the state, is actually going for Joe Biden right now. But when it comes to the Democratic, we called it in 2016 the firewall. We kind of stopped talking about it after Hillary Clinton, it collapsed for her. The Midwest is really what it looks like will be the key for Democrats to win. And again, some of those states that are going to be the most important for that, we're not going to really have a good idea of what they are. Ohio is the one where we have a lot of votes in right now. It was publicly polling showing Donald Trump. If it stands and it's a little bit closer, then maybe that's a good sign for the Biden campaign. But again, it's never really a good sign unless you outright win a state.
So, Andrew, I want to go
the
back
only thing that Biden needs to get back, guys, is
Latino
Texas and
voters,
Florida. It'll
especially
defeat
in
Donald
Florida.
Trump in this election.
How have the two campaigns approached this? Because obviously Florida is one of those states that is a key state to winning the election this year. So in what ways, I guess, have their approaches been kind of different?
Yeah, well, some of my colleagues here at Newsy have actually done a lot of reporting. There were Democratic strategists in and around Florida, really, who focus on the Hispanic vote, who were kind of raising the alarm bells for the Biden campaign that they weren't doing enough. Remember back in the primaries so long ago, it was actually Bernie Sanders who did really strongly with Latino voters in places like Nevada, California. And so the Biden campaign, that was never his strongest demographic. African-American voters, older African-American voters, were really with Joe Biden. That's ultimately what powered him through to the nomination. And so the problem, one of the problems that Hillary Clinton had was she lost some of those voters from
Alrighty, guys,
the Obama
I'm going to get out of here.
It's
been way too long, so I'm guessing it's going to last till midnight. But I'll let you guys know who wins the election tomorrow. And yeah, I'm going to see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Snapchat in the description below, guys. Go subscribe to my second YouTube channel, my fiance YouTube channel. If you guys want to buy some merch, merch is in the description. Go buy some merch. I'll have the rest of it probably up next week. And if you guys want to donate, PayPal is in the description. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and comment in the live chat before you guys leave. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
We're also checking in with all of our local stations that we've been talking about across the country.